Oh yeah, thanks you guys. I appreciate you taking the time to have me on here.
I think it's pretty cool what you guys are doing.
Very good questions, and what a lot of research.
This is cool.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
Thank you for having me.
I really appreciate you guys asking me to be a part of this.
That was too cool, bro. And I was between shifts. I'm between shifts right now. I think I'm gonna be between shifts the rest of my life.
Welcome back to the Between Shifts podcast. Our guest today is a Half Moon Bay legend, a Vietnam veteran, lifelong hunter, former gun shop owner on Main Street, and truck driver whose story is deeply woven into the history of our community here in Half Moon Bay. Joining him is his grandson, Arron, a cattle farmer, real estate agent, and one of my best friends since we were in diapers. Please welcome Arron's grandfather, Robin Baird.
Hi. There we go.
Hi, everybody.
Tried to set up all the equipment so you weren't overwhelmed by all the technology. Oh, shit. Well, how's your day going, Robin?
Good.
Bye, Julie.
Day's going really good.
Yep. Guys are shooting some guns up here.
Yep. Having fun. Got to take Claire inherited her dad's, well, Claire and Case inherited her dad's family's guns, and these guys were nice enough to let us shoot up here.
Oh, wow.
He's like, I didn't even know you guys were shooting.
I knew you were shooting.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are Claire's dad's guns they're shooting.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Yep. He's got some.
Her mom asked me about maybe buying them one time, you know.
Yeah.
I said I could get David and go down and check them out, but I didn't. We never did do that.
Yeah, he's got some. I thought about bringing them, and then I got all paranoid because I thought I was like, oh, if I got pulled over and the guns aren't registered to me and I lost Claire's family heirloom guns, that'd be pretty bad.
And there's no cases. You just literally have a pile of guns in the back.
He's got two old Civil War pistols that I wanted you to see, but I didn't want to bring them.
Okay.
Aaron's seen them.
I showed you the pictures of them.
Yeah, I saw the pictures of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Robin's a Pendleton guy. We're drinking Pendleton tonight. Sorry, 805. Sponsored by 805.
Well, I guess we'll start off easy with, where did you grow up?
Well, I was born in San Jose.
Okay.
At a hospital. 3 weeks later, I came home. My parents had a ranch in Chinitas Canyon here, and my father was a industrial artist, and I came home. Was raised there basically with my sister. She's 8 years older. And I guess 1950, he got a job in Chicago. That's where he was raised and grown up. And took us all back to Chicago for a while. And I did the last 4 years of grammar school there. Started running for just defense, if nothing else. Started running with some different kids, and they weren't really bad. We didn't do anything really bad, but we were being bad. And they sent me back here to Half Moon Bay to go to high school. And I lived with my sister, my brother-in-law. She got married and came back here and got married, and so I came back and lived with them. I worked on the ranch since I was 14.
You said your sister-in-law lived here?
My sister.
Oh, your sister.
The ranch in town.
Oh, okay.
We raised Brussels sprouts.
Oh, okay. Nice. Where at in town?
Guido Santini. Well, we went out to the airport. We were where Dave Leia is. Mm-hmm. We had a big field right by the school, high school, where it is now. We're at the short stop or quick stop or whatever the heck it is. Had a field there, and we had farmed 65 acres right by I don't know the name of this. Well, you know the street you go down where Dennis and Betty lived.
Spindrift.
Yeah. Okay. Right across the north, across the main road there.
Kehoe area.
Yeah, we had 65 acres there.
Whoa! On the side with the ocean.
No.
Oh, no.
It was on the east side.
Like the
back by Burdett's house.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
The ranch was on Gumtree Lane.
Okay.
You know where that is. I don't know the name of it, but we all call it Gumtree Lane.
Gotcha.
Anyway, I lived with them and worked for the ranch till I was 19, I guess. and then I went to work for Tessage Rage. I don't know if you don't remember it, been gone, but there was a guy that came out of the Army, and he came to Half Moon Bay, and he didn't farm, but he had a trucking company, old dime junk trucks, and he hauled produce and stuff all over the place. So I worked for him for a couple of years, and then I went to work for Andrini's.
What was when you were growing up while you were working on the farm? What was Half Moon Bay like at that time?
I think there was 2,500 people here then, in the whole area.
No traffic.
Yeah, you could do pretty much anything you wanted. Half Moon Bay was a great place. I tell people all the time that I lived in the best of times. You could live in here. There was no police, and there was a handful of bars that we could drink in at 17.
What was the best one?
Hit them up.
Benito?
The Half Moon Bay, no. I couldn't go in those until I was 21. But I went into the pastime club.
Oh, okay.
And, yeah.
Yeah, back then on Main Street, that was a whole bunch of bars right there. Tell us about.
Well, it was the San Benito House, which is Dominic's then. The Half Moon Bay Inn was there. The Pastime was there. Old Italian guy owned it, and he used to sell beer. There was a bowling alley in it, a one-lane bowling alley, and you could go back there and play and bowl. And they had somebody they'd hire to go back and set the pins up for you.
Yeah.
I never did that. I stole a bowling ball out of there one night and threw it down Main Street.
Nice.
I thought it deserved it.
How far did you make it? Couple blocks?
A couple of blocks, probably. It was
Nice.
it was a gutter ball for sure.
Taking out people's cars.
And and they played cards in there. A lot of guys. I never did, but a lot of guys played cards. Big money, and that's what that was. But it was a great place. There's fights going on, half the time, and just all kinds of good shit. Half of me in the same way. George Betancourt is one of my best buddies. Still is today. We got into a scrap one night and Half of me in over some girls, naturally, and we got both guys down, and we're on top of them. And finally, I said, "This is stupid," and I says, "You owe me a drink." So we got up. George got up. We went back to the bar, and they bought us drinks.
What is the story I've heard a bunch about the Pastime? Those guys would be from Bob and George. They'd go hunting all day, and they had a Jeep, and they'd go to the Pastime after hunting, and they didn't want to leave their guns in the Jeep, so they would bring them into the bar. And you don't remember?
I never was a part of that.
Oh,
I don't know who his friend was.
It was King and George.
It sounds like
King. Oh, they did that from the club.
Yeah,
the Deer Club. Yeah, when we were out on Sundays.
But story I've heard many times, they would pull up to the bar in a Jeep after hunting all day, go inside, and they didn't want to leave their guns out in the Jeep. And the bartender would take them and leave them behind the bar. They'd drink all night, and that closing time, go, all right, here's your guns. And they'd take their guns and head on home.
it's like a coat rack. Coat rack for guns. Who's number 12?
Well,
That's fucking fun.
when George Betancourt and I don't want to be getting too far ahead, but when we opened the gun shop, it was at 75, 76, 77, right around in there. And we were just talking one day, cleaning our guns after a hunt. And he says, nobody in town cleans guns. They don't do nothing. And he says, I got some things I'd like to do, just, whatever. And I said, let's open a gun shop. And he was looking at me. He says, sounds like a good idea. So his father gave us a room in that big building where down there where the old feed and fuel used to be. That big building. And years before, it was a Ford company. It was a PG&E. Different people had it. But anyway, George's father and a couple other guys were building boats in there. They'd build little smaller boats.
Now, is this where Feed and Fuel is now, or down by where Raul Castillo's
it's
gym is?
Right before the bridge starts. I think not Mezzaluna, but
it's
Moon.
Something like that now. Yeah,
Now it's
Fatora Marie.
Oh yeah.
So you're in
That's
where
it
Feed and
was.
Fuel is now.
We were in there. Yeah, we had a little room, and a friend of ours was building fences. Across, I don't know. Anyway, it was a wire fence, And he put a thing on the window and a thing on the door so people couldn't get in. And then we had a grand opening. We got it all set up and ready to go, and we bought a few tools. We went down to L.A. to see my uncle. He had a big gun shop in Los Angeles. We went down there to see him and see what his guys do and things. We didn't know anything. We were just going to clean guns for people.
Yeah.
And we bought a bunch of tools. And all the money that we made there, we sold some guns. We did all kinds of shit. But all the money we made, we spent it in the pastime. Just get freaking hammered. Supposed to be cleaning the guy's gun and we're drinking. But anyway, that was an experience. We had a lot of fun.
How many years was it open? What were the years?
Well, we opened it in 75, 76, and then, no, 74, because in 75 I had to go to the hospital for surgery, and we closed it after that. So 73 at the end, and 74, and 75 part of it, and then
You were mainly just cleaning guns. You sold a couple.
Yeah, and we sold a bunch of them. Sold some ammo, some things, different things like that. We didn't get anything really. I was checkering. I started checkering stocks, and doing some things, but I never got into building rifles and stuff.
Yeah,
it's you got to have a lot more tooling and way more experience. So it was just basically a gun cleaning thing, and that was cool. So we had fun. I restocked a couple of rifles and checkered the stocks and did things. But
yeah. Well, I know hunting has been a big part of your life.
Yes.
Who introduced you to hunting? And kind of when did that whole obsession
My brother-in-law.
start? Yeah.
I remember hunting the first time hunting deer was 1956.
Okay.
Yeah.
How old were you then?
I was born in 41, so 15.
Nice.
Yeah. 15, 16 years old. But, yeah. I would hunt rabbits and things all the time with a 22 since I was a little guy.
Yeah.
And we, it just went on from there. I hunted with those guys at different gun clubs and ended up hunting ducks, and there's a few, not like these guys, but, ducks are around here. We used to get up early in the morning and go hunting around these different ponds on the coastside. And the owners knew us, and they didn't care if you went in there. And we'd shoot ducks in the morning before school. I can remember taking two big mallards to the principal because I was late. I gave them to the principal. He was as happy as could be. I didn't even clean him. I just gave him the ducks. He ran home with them.
Didn't even call you tardy, huh? When you first started hunting, who were you going hunting with? Was it your brother-in-law mainly?
Yeah, my brother-in-law, Guido Santini, and a lot of the guys in town, Armandis, and Pittman's Hills, and old man, the butcher, Joe Nunes, Kenny Armandi. Just a whole bunch of guys were in it.
Yeah. And were you mainly hunting around town, or were you going on trips?
Brisbane Canyon was my first club.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then I stopped for a little while because I was working, I guess. I didn't hunt for a few years, but when David's brother was the oldest, when he turned 12, we got him tags and stuff, and took him deer hunting. So I got to be with him when I was hunting on a Betancourt ranch then. It belonged to that club. And he got his first buck. I got to see that and watch him shoot it. That was cool.
So you started the family addiction.
Yeah. David.
I think it was long before him.
Yeah, well,
I was going to say,
I always had guns. My mother was a very good shot, but she was raised by, a gun maker.
Well, this kind of leads me into my next question because I'm trying to get this out of you, but can you give us a brief family history?
Okay, mother's side. My mother was born in Germany. Her father was born in 62, 63, right during the end of the Civil War. My grandfather was born in Germany. And his father, my great-grandfather on that side, he was a gamekeeper. In Germany, they have big plots of land with gamekeepers. And they make sure that the game is taken care of and nobody's getting in there poaching them and stuff like that. And my grandfather said when he was 8 years old, that he wanted to be a gunsmith. He loved the hunting and the shooting and all that stuff. He was 8 years old, and he went to as an apprentice with an old guy. And he graduated when he was 16. So he worked for the guy 8 years for no money. He got room and board, and my great-grandfather got to go home, or my grandfather got to go home Christmas and Easter because they were Catholic. Mm-hmm. So he got to go home those 2 days a year. And when he graduated, he had a hell of a time. The old guy was mean. But anyway, he graduated, started making guns in Germany there. And I do have a shotgun that he made before 1906.
Wow.
They lived in a little town called Pfaffenhofen in Germany, and he had a gun shop there, and he worked there. The thing is, to make a gun for a guy takes you about a year. With the crude tools they had, he did everything by hand. I mean, everything he's done. If you saw that gun, you wouldn't believe that a man did all that shit with his hand. And I know this gun was made before 1906, because in 1906 they moved to Munich, a big city. And my mother was born in 1904. Uncle Frank was born in 1906. And my grandmother was pregnant when they came over here on a ship. It was 1907. They came to Los Angeles. And she was pregnant on the ship with my aunt. And the other guy, the older one, he must have been born somewhere. He was older than my mother. So he must have been born somewhere around 02. Anyway, 1907, they came to Los Angeles. My great-grandfather's brother was in charge of all the waterworks for the city of Los Angeles. He had big ponds and big reservoirs, and the water came, and then whatever. I don't know the whole truth of it, but I know that when World War I broke out, they took it away from him. Didn't give him a dime because he was German. He wasn't a citizen, and they figured he'd start trying to war with Germany in World War I. And they were afraid, I guess, that this is the way the story goes from the family, that he'd try to poison all the people in L.A. Ooh. So they they threw him out and took it away.
Yeah.
And he had an old car.
Can I ask you a question real quick?
Sure.
Was the family's name always Baird?
No, that was my mother's side.
Oh, okay.
My mother's side.
Gotcha.
Their name was Pachmayr, Pachmayr, and that's where the old man. His name was August Pachmayr, and came here. He opened a shop, business, and started working. My grandmother got a job working for a family and took care of their house and cooked for them and stuff. So in the time of the Depression and stuff, they always had food because she would bring leftovers. The people wouldn't eat leftovers, and my grandmother would bring it home, and they always had food. Anyway, they lived a poor life.
What about Frank?
Frank was always a businessman. He grew up when all the kids were playing, and they got 10 cents every Saturday to go to the show. He wouldn't go to the show. He'd save it. And he would go out and catch snails, pick snails out of guys' yards and stuff for 5 or 10 cents. And then he'd take them and sell them to the restaurants.
And this is in Germany or here?
In Los Angeles.
Oh, okay.
So he was always stuffing money away. And he ended up to be pretty wealthy in the end. Mm. But his business was very big. World War II, he made a lot of money for the government, making parts for the military. Mm-hmm. He had a big machine shop then, and he sold all that crap in 1950. A guy from New York bought all his business, not the gun shop, but all the other stuff, the machine shop. And he couldn't pay for it, so my uncle got it back, sold it again, and that's where he started his base. But he always had a gun shop.
But Frank, though, he was at the top of the gun making game in his day.
Frank learned how to build guns, and he could do a good job, but he was more
or a customizer, right? And then didn't he do a bunch of work for LAPD, customizing 1911s and stuff, right?
That wasn't for LAPD. That was just for anybody that wanted to have a custom 45, and he worked with those a lot. And he was one of the first guys to make custom 45 autos.
He's got guns in the NRA museum.
Oh yeah,
right?
He's got a lot. Yeah,
huge collection.
They put 270 guns in there, but they're mostly shotguns.
Wow,
he loves shotguns.
He's a very wealthy guy back then for hunting and stuff. He owned a big duck club in Butte Sink. We have old VHS tapes of it. And then, he was in the 40s and 50s. He was going like Colorado and stuff. We got a bunch of cool hunting pictures, huge bucks.
He had a cool airplane.
Yeah, airplane.
I never rode on it, but he had that. And he had a bunch of different shit.
We got patches like to Ducks Unlimited. That's like, thank you to, and plaques and stuff.
Well,
thank you to Frank and Anita Packmeyer for donating like $1 million and stuff. Back in the day, like they made big money back.
He did really well.
He built a big wetland area in Canada for ducks land for
Wow,
restorated some land.
Were you pretty close with him growing up?
No, I hardly ever saw him.
But the main thing they did was take just Model 70 rifles, any rifle, a lot of shotguns too, pistols, and just fully customize them, engrave them, gold inlays, just make them, put a custom stock. He owned his own walnut farm for all the stocks, and then they would just make these beautiful rifles. There's in the museum in Cody, Wyoming, we went and saw it. There's the rifle he built for Ronald Reagan when Reagan was in office. He
had a picture of him, and it was governor on one side, and the other side was president. Yeah, even he couldn't sell it or take it out and use it because it was a gift to the United States more than anything.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
It was a 30-30 Winchester.
Wow.
And he
customized it for him?
Customized it, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of the guns you see for sale on the internet that are Packmeyer guns, they were made for famous people back then.
Wow.
He made a lot of gifts for people and stuff.
Now, I've seen the ones where you can twist off the barrel on them, right?
Yeah, I've got 3 of those.
So can you tell us a little bit about those?
My grandfather did those, and I've got 4 of them.
Not Frank, your grandfather.
Yeah, my grandfather.
Gotcha.
Those are takedown rifles, and he made them, and they always came, when he built them for somebody, he would have 2 or 3 barrels with it. Shoot 2 or 3 different calibers with it, so the barrels you had to make sure which one you were putting on the rifle to shoot with. But, when I got these, I had to buy them from the Packmeyer Foundation. Mm-hmm. I didn't want to let them go. They were really cool. And he took an old Mauser, World War II German Army military rifle, and converted it to everything. He had one of ours, a Springfield World War I rifle that we had. He converted. He didn't have to convert that. It's still a 30-06. The German one is 7mm something now, and then he's got a Mannlicher, which is Austrian Mannlicher Schonauer, but it's a 1898 Austrian Army rifle.
Wow. And
then he's got another one there. I can't think of what it is right now. I haven't seen it for a while, but anyway, he did make those. He made up a lot of them. I never did get any barrels for them because I had to buy. If you went to go there to my grandfather's shop, he had nail kegs, like just small barrels, with tons of barrels in there. And my grandfather was always wanting to be an inventor, and he's always trying to find the perfect rifle, perfect shot, perfect caliber. And these barrels, you never knew which one would go with which rifle. Only he would have known that,
Yeah.
So,
aside from those takedowns, what else did your grandpa invent?
Well, he invented the parts for the 45 Colt automatic pistol. He invented scope mount that they called the low swing. You could put it mounted on your rifle and sight it in and everything. And then if, say, a bear jumps up 13 feet from you, you could swing the thing over and have iron sights.
Okay.
So
it would roll off to the side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was pretty successful for a while, but a lot of guys didn't trust it. I don't know the whole thing about it. I never had one. I've seen them. I've never used one, but I flipped it over.
What about, wasn't there something to do with butt pads too?
Made recoil pads for
recoil pads.
Everything, yeah.
And then wasn't there something to do with the double barrel triggers?
That was my grandfather.
What was the deal with that?
Well, regular say a shotgun double barrel, you have 2 triggers, one for the left barrel, one for the right. The left barrel would be like modified choke, and then the right barrel would be for a really close choke so that you could shoot far distance with it before the pattern opened up. and you had to go bang and then take it, and the other one bang. And you could still do that with whatever you wanted, but it was a double trigger setup, so you could pull it twice, and you get to shoot a lot faster. So you could pull the short one, the modified choke right now, and then pull the long range one again. So he did that, and he made all kinds of different things. Had them manufactured and sold them. The most important thing they did was the recoil pads. They fit rifles or shotguns, and they're all over the world. So one time he saw some recoil pads that Winchester had made and put on their stock rifles, and they looked identical to my uncle. So he sued Winchester for $8 million. He never got a penny. He cost a fortune for lawyers. Oh. Somehow they weaseled their way out of it.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, he was really well known.
I've always admired your guys' both sides, both your side and Lodi's side, the just family history behind, especially you. I just heard it from you growing up and your dad and stuff, but it's always been really cool. You guys have been here forever.
Yeah. My father was born and grew up in a town called Decatur, Illinois. And he went through school there, did all that shit. Then he went to college at Northwestern University, became an engineer, and he took industrial art classes. And he graduated, and in the early 20s, he played hockey for the Chicago Blackhawks.
No way.
Professional hockey, yeah. And it was hurting his hands. They didn't have gloves and shit in those days. His hands were getting hurt, and he says, I can't do my work painting with... he didn't paint faces and people. He painted machines, tractors, trucks, all kinds of shit like that. But airplanes, but he says he couldn't ruin his hands. That would ruin his whole so he quit. But he always loved hockey and he loved boxing.
What about when they moved out here? The whole name change and all that stuff.
Oh, okay. Well, my father, him and a buddy of his, they made moonshine in the bathtub. They made gin in the bathtub.
When they were out here?
Oh, when they were in Chicago.
Oh.
So then he got hooked up with somebody in the Capone family. He knew Al Capone's brother, Ralph was his name. And Ralph got him a job making the stamps for the government stamps that you put on bottles. Mm-hmm. So he was making those, producing them, and making good money at it. And 1935, 34, 35, the feds were really, really on everybody looking at it. So he was afraid he was going to get thrown in jail. So he packed up my sister and my mother and came out here.
Moved to Tenedas,
on the run.
Yeah, he was running away.
He was running. Yeah,
a new 1935 Ford. Did they come boil it out here in it? Dirt highways. There was nothing much across the country.
So have you heard it's probably just a tale, but I know we've heard that Al Capone's sister lived in San Gregorio too.
Yeah.
And then there was word that before he went to Alcatraz, he spent some time in San Gregorio as well. I don't know if you've heard.
I've heard that. I've heard that. I never did remember seeing him or nothing, but I've heard that. And there was a guy named something Joe Bonanno. He lived at the Moon Dream Hotel, which is where the Beaches and Parks headquarters are down in Kelly Avenue. Mm-hmm. He lived in there. But there was a lot of old time guys making booze around here. It's a pretty well known place for it. Like the fishermen were hauling it. They'd go out in the ocean, and instead of fishing, they'd pick up cases of whiskey that came from Canada. They'd bring them into the Princeton, load them in cars, and haul it to San Francisco. Mm-hmm. They made money doing that.
Yeah,
more money doing that than they did on fish. But of course, they were always looked at and wondered about. There was an old across from the San Gregorio store, across Highway 84. There's an old building there. It's the San Gregorio House or whatever. Mm-hmm. The guy that owned it was named Aladino Bertolucci, and he had a still, a big one. And he said when it was running, it would pump a 1.5 inch pipe 24 hours a day when they were feeding it.
Holy shit.
He made a lot of booze.
Yeah.
And the feds got him, and they put him in federal prison for 7 years.
Woo. Damn. Yeah, we're still like working on a little prohibition project, but we read about on David Leia's land somewhere in that canyon back there. It was the largest prohibition bust in California history.
Could be, yeah.
It was something like 150,000 gallons of booze.
Oh, I never knew that.
Yeah, and it was I can't remember the names. There was like one or two names that I read, and I was like, that sounds really familiar. Like it was somebody's lineage, but I wasn't sure.
I'm sure it was, yeah. Yeah, a lot of people made big money. The Betancourts.
Yeah.
The family, the old ones, the ones that would be, they're all gone, but they'd be grandfathers or great grandfathers now. But they had a big still, and they had a D4 Caterpillar that they used to haul sugar on it to go up to the still, and they built a muffler out of a water heater, so you couldn't hear it. All you could hear was the tracks, but you couldn't hear the motor.
Oh, that's fucking awesome.
They'd haul sugar up to that damn thing.
Yeah.
There was a big one up in Prisma Canyon in the back in a place called Hangtown. And not Hangtown.
Grabtown.
Grabtown. You're right. I'm sorry. I guess I was thinking of
Thinking of motocross racing.
But they had a place of chutes built out of logs. They were chutes, and they would park on Skyline and pour the sugar down the chutes, and it would go all the way down the hill down to where the still was.
Holy shit! Yeah, there's some great stories.
That was a great thing. That you had to have sugar to make it work. But anyway, yeah, so it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, I remember Todd Damrosch has been helping us out a little bit with the podcast stuff.
Yeah.
And he was sending us some pictures from his great grandfather's old film camera out on the boat and everything.
Yeah.
And then he was sending us pictures of his family and talking to us about, how they'd go out on a rowboat to go get the booze from, like he'd shoot the reef, like guys shoot the reef to go out to Mavericks on jet skis. Now they would paddle through that reef, get out there, pick it up, come back in and paddle into the harbor and then unload and everything.
Yeah.
It just sounded crazy.
Amazing. Yeah. It's amazing.
Yeah.
One cool thing about him is he went to school there in Labitas, there right above Barbara and Rich's house there.
Today's Canyon.
Canyon. And like back then there's a school in San Gregorio, school in Tenitas, school in Prisma.
I had no idea there was a school in
Seaside School in San Gregorio.
Where Bobby Avila lives now? That used to be.
That was a Prisma.
That was a school?
Prisma school.
Oh, no shit.
Back then, my grandma just said that her mom went to school there.
So down by the graveyard, natural burial.
That's crazy.
That school in Prisma had an outside toilets for the kids, boys and girls. And somebody went in there. I saw it myself. I looked at it. The guy that lived there that showed it to me, and inside the girls' bathroom in the wall, somebody took a pocket knife and they carved
a hole.
Bill Pimentel and Albert Marsh, and they carved it on the wall of the girls' toilet, like big joke.
What they carve?
Cool. Their names.
Oh, their names. I thought you were going to say they cut a hole in the wall.
No, they just carved their names in it, so like they were in the girls' toilet shitting. I don't know. Whoops.
No, keep going. It's fine.
There used to be bars in all those canyons too.
Yeah, I there was
Prisma was a town originally.
Yeah, wasn't there a ghost town there for a little while?
Well, yeah, it was after, but I mean the town was where the graveyard is, and across the highway, that big flat there by the creek. That was all the town, and they had a bar and restaurant there, and they had a hotel and all that shit. So the house we lived in, Verde Road, for all those years, the windows all came out of that hotel.
Oh, wow.
Rounded on top and along.
Is that house, you said the house is still there?
It's still there.
White House down in Verde, yeah.
Yep. Do you know much about, like, there was that old logging camp on Tenitas Creek Road?
Well, I know a guy that logged there.
Okay.
His name was Joe Betancourt.
Okay.
And his family. But I think you're talking about something bigger.
Yeah.
Something way bigger. And it was over between Prisma and Higgins Canyon, but it was back at the end of before the hills.
Okay.
And, there's a sawdust pile there still. They call it that. You go hunting, You take your dogs and turn them in where the sawdust pile is. There's still a big sawdust pile there. And that was a big one. Joe Betancourt used to cut redwood trees down and stuff. And he raised cows and he did different things. But Doug Edwards is farming that ranch right now. But Open Space owns it.
Yeah.
But anyway, there was a lot of log coming on the east side of the San Royal Hills. I mean, the Honda Mountains on the east side down towards Redwood City.
Okay.
That big redwood things there.
Yeah.
Big ships used to come into Redwood City Port and haul lumber out.
Because I just know that we used to, in high school, we used to go check out this abandoned logging camp. That's, it was like probably where Libido's Creek Road comes out on Tanitas. It's probably about a half mile up the road from that.
From Lobitas Road,
where Libido's comes out on Tanitas.
It's way up there high. It's kind of an old
that road is called Irish Ridge Road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was. There was. I don't know who it would be. I mean,
Okay.
Before my.
I was going to say one cool thing about stories I've always heard about back then is when the old ranchers back then, they would give you a little plot of redwoods up there to go build your barns and houses and stuff with. And I'm pretty sure Sarah's family still has their little plot of redwoods somewhere up there.
Oh, that's super cool.
Right, the house you lived in Tanitas.
Yeah.
And that house was all built out of redwoods that were milled from up there.
Yeah.
Super cool. What is that house still down there? By Tammy and Brian's?
Yeah.
It's all abandoned.
Which one? The one that's a mile up the road?
The one you used to live in. It's been abandoned since they moved out.
So who owns it now then?
There's a Japanese
Open
guy.
Space.
No, not our old ranch. Some Japanese tech guy from Silicon Valley owns it.
Mm.
I met him.
Where Doug has his cows?
Oh, that one there. I'm sorry. It's abandoned. Not there. This is behind Brian and Tammy's. When he said that, you follow that road and go back, it's almost a mile.
Yeah.
That's our house.
So they lived in a couple of different places there. When he was a little kid, he lived behind Tammy and Brian. And then when my dad was in high school.
Same road as Tammy and Brian, but just back?
Yeah.
That's funny. My grandpa lived back there too.
Did he really?
Yeah. He said he lived in there when he was little, yeah.
Yeah. And when my dad was in high school,
I don't know.
They lived, if you go up, keep going up to Tanitas a little bit.
Uh-huh. Okay.
There.
Yeah.
So when you pass like Tammy and Brian's house proper, like there's that fire road that keeps going up to the right.
Paved road. Keep following the paved road all the way back.
Okay.
Then it turns into a dirt road and then it keeps going to a gate.
But back then that road, like Tammy and Brian's wasn't there and that road didn't exist. So you had to go like how they got in the 40s is they would go up like by where Jacoby's has his barn there, and they would go through Sarah's Deanie's property, right? Sarah's family's property, and then go and drop in the backside.
Okay.
Well,
Which is crazy because on their ranch they have a road back there. It's still called Baird's Road.
He would. Yeah. My father would go there in the morning, and he'd get up, milk a cow, saddle a horse. He'd get his horse and ride out to that barn in the winter, and he would leave the horse there all day and put some hay in the manger for it, and then he would go to San Francisco in those days, and he would work all day and then come home at night, and he'd have to milk the damn cow again. So he'd go shopping for my mother and everything. My mother, she didn't drive very well. They didn't have a lot of cars and shit there.
That seems to be a common theme with females in Half Moon Bay. Just not like older females, because Eddie Andrini was saying the same thing about his grandmother.
Yeah.
What would it be? Antonio's wife? In the house where Eddie Andrini Jr. lives now?
Across the street. Oh, yeah, in that house.
Where Junior's at now, yeah.
Exactly.
He was saying that his grandmother was known. My grandpa, Joe, still talks about how she was known as a bad driver. We were laughing about it when we interviewed Eddie Jr.
She had a 57 Chevy.
Did she?
Yeah. And she got it wedged in her. She had a two-car garage, but it was long instead of wide. She tried to get out one time. She got it wedged sideways, crooked, so she couldn't go ahead or back. And young Eddie had to get a a jack and go in there and jack it up and pull it straight so she could get it out. And she ran into the bank one day. She was parked there, and she just floored it, and it was in drive instead of reverse. And
That's where Nico gets it from.
Well,
she was a nice lady.
I'm just fishing for a good story here, but what's one of your favorite hunting stories?
Favorite hunting? Well, I was in Montana with Doug Edwards and my son Matt, Bob Edwards, George Betancourt, and Doug Edwards. And we stayed at this place that had a big old 2-story house that we slept in. And they gave us cots. And we put our sleeping bag on the cots. But we slept upstairs. There's a big, long hall, big, long room. Had all the cots lined up. We all go to bed. You had to do it the right way. When they heated the building of the house, they had 2 girls that cooked for us and cleaned up. But when you heated the house, it warmed up the flies. And the flies started flying around. And there was so freaking many flies. I couldn't ever believe it. And so there was the hall where we were at the end over here. There was lights, and you had a big chain you pulled. And we'd have to turn them off one at a time so they'd go to the light, and
Yeah.
finally gets to the far end. And we were all getting ready to go to sleep, and we were in our cots, and all of a sudden, you could hear Doug Edwards just ripped right down the middle, and he fell down on the floor. Poor bastard, he had to just roll up and sleep on the floor. He couldn't do nothing. Anyway, we hunted, and I was the first time I was in what they call a blizzard, a blizzard where everything's a whiteout. You can't see nothing in your hand in front of your face because of the snow.
Wow.
And George Betancourt and I were down in this creek, and we said, "This is ridiculous. Let's get out here and walk back, George." And he says, "Oh, okay, let's do that." Well, anyway, I ended up shooting a good-sized bull, and they had a guide with us. But anyway, I shot this bastard, and the guide ran up ahead of me, and he said, "Oh man, you got a 5-pointer." And I was walking up, struggling. I got there. He says, "Oh shit! It's only got 5. It's got 5 on one side, but the other side only's got 1. So it had one spike on one side and 5 points on the other." And it's in David's garage now. It's down there still. That's probably one of the best ones I was at. Fun time. We had a good time. They had a little town there, Wilsall, Montana. We could go there, and they had a place called the Bank Bar. It was the only bar in town. It used to be an old bank building. And we got so hammered in that.
You did a lot more of that than hunting.
Yeah.
Met some really nice people and tell them stupid stories of shit. And they were laughing and laughing, the guy and his wife. We had a great time there.
My life, one of my favorite stories hunting with him is in his older age, he never really wanted to kill much anymore.
Oh.
So over it. And we're hunting across the road here, and jumped a big 3-pointer. Deer comes right to him. I mean, almost runs the truck over right to him. And he would just want to come to, see Sean and I and stuff, be with us and
Be a part of it.
everything and stuff. Yeah. Like, didn't want to kill anything. Deer comes, almost runs him over. He shoots a couple times. We got in there. So what happened? He said, "I shot his feet. I tried to turn him and make him run to you guys."
I didn't want to shoot. The last deer I killed was up at Bald Knob. And,
Oh, wow.
And the son of a bitch, I shot him, and he went like this, and he just stood there looking around, and there's a horse just wild in the field. But the horse was looking at it, and he walked over to the deer. And he was smelling it, looking around. I tried to shoot that deer again, and I said, "Jesus Christ!" The horse, I didn't go down to shoot him, I couldn't believe it. And the horse was never, it was his buddy or something. Then I felt bad, Geez, I killed your buddy.
Yeah.
And he finally dropped it and died. But it just, I don't want to kill nothing anymore.
How was hunting bald dog back then? I mean, I mountain bike a lot, so I spend a lot of time in Prisma back there.
It was great hunting up there.
Yeah.
The Pimentel's had that club, and was all part of that girl Tracy. What's her name?
Chapman.
Tracy Chapman lives. That's the ranch.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And we were hunting there, and it incorporated Bald Knob then. In World War II, an airplane crashed there, a fighter.
Yep.
And old Bill Pimentel went up there with a horse and got the pilot. He had to cut him out of his parachute was hung in a tree, and he cut him out.
Holy shit.
And got him down and took him down to the house. And the guy was really, really appreciative, And pretty soon they come the Army, and they all went up there, and they took the guns out of the thing, or they bent the barrels or something so that they could never be used. Uh-huh. And one of the two. I'm assuming they probably just had a torch and they heated the barrels and bent them so they couldn't shoot it. And everything there. And over the years, it's almost covered up now. Eddie Andrini always wanted to get it. He was going to take excavators and all kind of shit up there to get it. And
yeah.
People who owned it would never let him do that.
Well, that's in what's now El Corte Madera open space.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
They're probably going to make it some sort of viewing thing.
No, it's pretty hard to find.
Is it?
Yeah. It's on
the side hill. It's not easy to find.
Yeah, it's. I had to get coordinates from a friend to.
Really?
I was on a mountain bike ride, and then it's like 100 yards off trail down the hill. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
rough,
cool. Rough damn place.
Yep.
Tell them about what you were telling me earlier. They're at, is it Tunis School? The one in Tunis? How during World War II there was a...
World War II, let's see, I was born in 1941, and I started school at 4 years old because, so 1945 I started school, I guess, because there was 3 guys in my class, and the teacher told my mother, says, your daughter's going to be graduating and leaving, and he'll be all alone, and there's 3 guys in his class, and I've got to hold them 2 back. So they held us, I did the 3rd grade 2 times. Because I could read and they couldn't, but they could do math and I couldn't do math. So. We helped each other.
Yeah.
There was 18 kids in that school, all 8 grades. That poor old teacher was red and ragged.
But tell them how there was an artillery together.
And probably 45 and 46, 45 the war ended. So it was right around there. But there was an anti-aircraft gun down in the flat, right at the edge of the property from the school in Mitch and Barbadini's, right there next to the highway. And there was just 1 barrel on it and a seat, and you got in there and aimed at it. It looked like a crow taking a shit. But anyway, they let us kids sit in it and sit in the seat and raise hell, And the poor bugger, he lived there in a tent, and I guess he had some little bit of cooking equipment or something, whatever. But when the Camerons was all Army base, that's where, anyway, when it was all an Army base, the guys, there was quite a few soldiers there. And they were always waiting for the Japanese to land and come in, Anyway, one of the guys would bring food from that mess hall down to this poor soldier that was here all by himself. And he would give that food to the teacher. The teacher lived in a little house behind the school. And we're sure he wasn't messing around there. But she cooked for him.
For sure.
Home cooked meals, and he loved it. He thought he was living like a king. No orders, nothing to do. But yeah, it was pretty cool.
That's funny.
Yeah, that's a crazy time on the coast to think of. Like, I grew up on the north end of the coast, so having there's the old house in the back of where Graywell Cove is. That soldiers used to be stationed in for manning all those bunkers along Devil Slide.
Right. Well, I also heard years ago, I don't know how true it is, but I heard that our Army captured German generals and brought them there, and they were in like a prison. They made a prison on a part of it.
Really?
They'd feed them and everything there. And every Saturday they could go uptown in Half Moon Bay. And because what are they going to do? They can't get home. They can't do anything. But anyway, they take them back to go shopping. And they'd go in the bakery and love that, love it. And they were nice. Everybody loved them.
Wow.
Was that after the war?
No, it was
during
the war.
Yeah.
They're just like, damn, I'm captured. I'm not going to do anything bad in the town.
There's no place to go.
Yeah. Yeah.
What about, I heard there's a brothel up there in Montera.
Montera. You know that pickle house thing is? The House of Pickles? The sandwich shop?
Oh, Gherkins.
Gherkins.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Pickle house.
It's got the big picture of the pickle out front.
Would you pass them gherkins?
That's what they said.
How much for the gherkin?
Anyway, it's a big whorehouse then. Miramar Beach Inn used to be a big whorehouse.
Yeah.
And everybody used to. I was always too young for that, but
You got the one up and
I would have peeped.
was it true? That's how you knew the guy wasn't fooling around with the teacher.
Right.
So what did you hear about the I know it as the Chinese whorehouse, but up Tanitas Creek Canyon there? You know the abandoned house? It's for sale right now.
That's what I was talking.
Oh, that's what you were talking about.
Yeah, it's an old logging camp.
Oh, that's the logging camp?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Now I got two and two together.
That's not the place on Doug's Ranch, is it?
No, it's way up higher.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
This is connected to the club. You follow the fire road and you end up at a
Native Sons
Hall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's on the other side of. I've been to that. That's on the other side of Skyline, though.
No, there's like a little clubhouse.
Native Sons is off of like Star Hill, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. But you can go from that old logging place and walk a fire road and you end up at their clubhouse where they have a pool table and
we had a big dinner up there.
Oh, okay.
I was in Native Sons I was president for quite a while.
Okay.
But,
They used to do big trail rides.
yeah, I used to go on those trail rides. They were cool.
Whole bunch of people all ride horses like 2 days, get drunk as skunks the whole time.
Yeah, Native Sons used to be a lot bigger deal in town, huh?
It was, yeah.
Yeah, because I can't remember if it was Dennis or Joe that was.
They didn't have a parlor in Half Bay. You had to go to Pescadero to be in that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's the old building right next to the IDS hall?
It looks like a church, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's,
It does look like a church.
Yeah. Yeah. What were you saying about?
Oh, just the trail rides. You guys would go get drunk and have bands and all kinds of crazy shit.
The Native Sons owned an old, like a coffee wagon where you drive the truck and you have coffee and donuts and shit in it. So George Betancourt and I, we made a bar out of it and we'd drive it to the trail rides. He didn't have a horse. I'd go on a horse, but he would drive the truck and go up to it was an old Dodge piece of shit and go to the thing. And then we had booze. We were on one at Bear Lodge one time. I was with Rich Deeney, and we were up there raising hell. Both of us got pretty drunk. He had a 62 Chevy, white four-door, sedan. And we were coming back with the heat on, and he had the radio blaring, and all of a sudden, big explosion and noise and shit. He had to take the fuse out and put a 22 Magnum bullet in there. The fuse, and had it at the radio. It went like this, zeke sideways, right through the freaking car.
Oh my God.
Ask him about that. That was hilarious. We had one up there with the trail ride. We had a trail ride to that place one time. Took all up horses and everybody up there. Oh, this is cool. And man, what a heat on we got. After we tended the horses after the ride, we got slaughtered up there. We had a big dance. We had a Western band. And the guy was supposed to be like Roy Orbison. And Rich was there. Everybody was there. Rich was trying to ride a horse backwards. Anyway, something that Barbara Deeney didn't like, her and her sister Billy Silva, they didn't like the band. So they went up there and told him what the hell play. If you're going to play Roy Orbison, play him right and sing it. So then they got in an argument. Pretty soon, drums are flying out on the floor and everything. Barbara and Billy went in and started punching guys. It was like the old days in the saloons. I'm not bullshitting you, man. They were tough girls.
Yeah.
And they just started fighting like men, you know. And the guys are squealing and running around trying to get out of the way.
That's definitely been passed down the generations, dude. I remember seeing Abby Donovan just run. We're at a Tanitas Creek party at the beach, and something happened and a little scuffle broke out, and somebody missed and accidentally hit Abby, and Abby just worked them over.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, holy shit.
Her and Shannon are both tough bastards.
Yeah.
But their mom, or their grandma, and Billy Silva, they were tough girls.
That old family
I
stuff.
know. When I was president of the Native Sons, we gave a dance down in Pescadero in the IDS hall, a big dance. We had food for people after 11:30. The band went home, and we passed out food for people and stuff so they could drive home and not be slaughtered. And I was walking around there, and one of those guys that lived down there, some kid, young guy, he grabbed a fire extinguisher and he says, "Hi!" Just hammered me in the face.
Hit you in the face with it?
Yeah, this is my mouth. I was spitting that shit. Billy and Barbara and Rich and Ray Villa, this overhauled them fuckers. They fucking kicked them like they were in the 1800s, man. Jesus. But anyway, I was still spitting, and I didn't get to fight in that one, but I didn't like fighting anyway. I always lost. But
you get your generation just loves boxing, though. Do you like boxing?
No.
No?
No, I always get hurt.
No. But do you like to watch it?
Oh. Yeah, I like the cage fighters.
Yeah, my grandpa Dennis was always obsessed with watching boxing and UFC.
Really?
Yeah. That's like anytime he'd pay for all the pay-per-views, everything.
Yeah, no, I didn't like it that much. My father loved it. But we had a radio with a battery down the ranch, and you couldn't listen to your shows. You liked your father's going to come home and listen to the Friday night Gillette Cavalcade of Sports and listen to the to the boxing matches. He loved that. Yeah,
should get Lodi on here to talk about her family history too.
Well, my mother.
Lodi walks in and grabs a bottle of wine.
She did not hear a word he said.
You heard about my mom from Germany. The old man, father, he was actually, his people came from Ireland.
Oh, okay.
County Cork. And my great-grandmother's name was Mary Fury Baird, Baird. So that became my father's middle name. Oh, I didn't say that when we were talking about my father and Capone, but it became my father's middle name, and his name was Robinson Baird Scheffler. All right, so because Mary Fury Baird married a guy named Scheffler. But anyway, when they left Chicago, he got here, he changed his name legally to drop the Scheffler. He didn't want anybody knowing who he was. So it stayed Robinson Baird, and then I'm Junior. But
so the Scheffler was the last name?
Yeah.
You might be related to Scotty Scheffler, dude.
Well, I
number one golfer in the world.
We always thought he spells his Schaffler or something. It's kind of spelled a little different.
Is it?
Yeah. But
that'd be so funny if you guys were cousins.
I don't know what I was thinking now. But
sorry.
Oh yeah, I went back to see. We were back at an Army reunion, and I went to Decatur, Illinois, and looked up my father's cousins, and they took us out to the old graveyard where my father is actually buried. His sister sent him back there to be buried, and in the graveyard, there's only two names, Baird and Scheffler, and all the people. It was an old church that my great-great-grandfather gave to this church to make a church there and have a graveyard. Mm-hmm. But there's nobody there but our people.
Wow.
So it's kind of strange. I didn't have a camera. I'll tell you a funny story. Before we went on this trip, Lodi bought me some new underwear, right? And new shorts. So we go back there. We're in Decatur, Illinois, at this old lady's house, and they said, "Well, come on, let's go now. We're going to go get in the car, and we're going to go to see the Prairie Home is the name of the church, and the graveyard is Prairie Home, Illinois." Anyway, so okay, I get in the car, and we went and stopped to have lunch. So we stopped in one town there, and there was a college there, and I said, "I got to use the restroom." So I go down to the bathroom. The bathroom's big, and there's a big trough, looks like you're feeding 100 cows in the son of a bitch. And guys are standing there all looking at it. I'm pee proud. I can't stand in front of a guys and let them
just let it rip.
Yeah, it's tough. It's really hard for me to do it. You can't wake it up. Well, this time I had to go bad, so I go there and I'm reaching in my pants and I'm trying to find. I can't find the flap. Right, I had them fuckers on backwards.
Oh no!
So the flap is in the back, and by the time I got a leg pulled up to where I could
piss out the bottom of it, yeah,
piss my pants, right? So I was so embarrassed. These old people, two old ladies and an old man, and geez, the old man was cool though. He was He was a fighter pilot, World War II.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he came out a colonel of the military.
Wow.
And you got the piss right next to him?
Army Air Force. No, he wasn't there. He was in the college. But I had piss pants. You can't go see a colonel in the Army with piss pants. It's frowned upon. But anyway, that was just a cool thing to see that my father's grave. I'd never seen it.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
So what age would you have gone away and gone to Vietnam?
Well, I was married before to a girl who I called, her first name was Jerry. I call her Jerry Mustn't Touch It. So anyway.
Why do you call her that?
You can't touch it. She wouldn't let
Hence the X.
I'm just kidding. She wouldn't let you near it, son, but you think. So anyway, I was a fireman in a town. I became a fireman in 1964, and paid department, and I was working 24 hours on and 24 hours off. Well, when my 24 hours on was duty, this other fucker guy, a biker, was on my ex-wife, and his wife shot him.
That was so casual.
Yeah, his wife shot him, and he went to the hospital, and she called me at the firehouse. She says, his name was Dutch. Anyway, she said, Dutch is in the hospital. He got shot. And I said, what the hell happened? She says, and I said, well, I guess we should go see him. So the next day I was off. I went home. We got in the car and we went over to the hospital. Cops wouldn't let us in because they didn't know who shot him and all this and that, But his wife shot him. But anyway, when the cop wouldn't let her in the room, she just flipped upside down like a little kid and started kicking and screaming and squealing and shit. And I says, a little more to this than I know, isn't there? That's what I told her. Yeah. She says, yeah, we've been seeing each other for a year, but we didn't know how to tell you. I said, come out and say, Robin, I'm fucking my friend. That's the best way, right?
Yeah.
Why hold it back for a year? I didn't know for a year.
Yeah.
I felt like such a sap,
Oh, that would be rough.
So anyway, I lived about maybe a year. I lived up at the corner of where Jojo Quinlan lived, on that corner there, the end of town. There's
down by the fire station,
south end of town. There's the road. Now you got to stop now, and you can turn. There's dentist offices. She's over here. It might be.
Can't think of it.
You're probably thinking of Poplar.
No.
Past Poplar?
No, it's past.
Down by Seacrest?
I think it's the Grove Street.
Yeah, Grove goes across into the other neighborhood as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think it's Grove.
Brian Jenkins.
You go out. Yes.
Yeah.
So anyway, I lived there. I lived there with Jojo Quinlan and his mother for about a year, I guess. And I decided I got to file for divorce. So I filed for divorce. And 30 days later, I got a notice from the county. I got drafted. So that was in 65. Yeah, 65. And then I had 30 days.
So you were 26?
Yeah, 25 and a half when I got drafted.
Yeah.
And I got out of the Army I was 27 and a half, yeah. So 66, I went in the wintertime. I went in the Army and got sent up to Fort Lewis, Washington for basic training and did all that shit. Went through all the basic training stuff. And then when I left there, I had to go to Fort Hood, Texas. So I go to Fort Hood, Texas, and I meet Ronnie Buck, a buddy of mine from high school to school, and his wife. And they were there. And anyway, I must have known he was there, but I didn't see him. I just, somebody told me he was there or whatever. And that's how I looked him up and found him. And we started drinking and Jesus. Anyway, I was there for quite a while. And one day I was just doing nothing. This is stupid. So I called the WAC barracks, as the Army girls. And I talked to the girl on the phone, the answers. I says, so I'm a guy from California and I'm looking for a date. There's nothing serious, nothing special. I just want to be next to a girl for a while. I said, you got anybody that would be willing to go? She says, just a minute. She called and got with her bunkmate or somebody, a friend of hers. And she says, yeah, come up and pick us up. So you go up there and pick her up. And She was 18 years old. She was from New York. Nice girl. And we stayed at Ronnie's house that night and ate and went out and we had partied and went to bars and shit. And anyway, I never saw her again, but it was cool. It was pretty fun.
Yeah. I got a kind of a random question for you, but we keep going back to nights with your friends where you would go out, get slaughtered and have some fun with your friends. It seems like that's kind of going out of style and it's kind of frowned upon now.
No,
I'm just wondering.
Not in Montana.
Not Montana, no. But like, what when you think back on those times, like how close do you think that those times brought you that much closer to your friends? I feel like I don't know. I think about us and as friends.
Those guys are long life friends. Yeah, George Betancourt and Leonard Rice, Jimmy Rice's brother.
Yep,
there's a bunch of them that are just really close to me. Those are the guys I run around with.
Yeah,
half of them are Ronnie Cunha. Half of the guys are dead.
Yeah,
old Gil Bastici, the old fire chief in Half Bay. I don't know if you know him or not. But
no, I don't know. I'm just following your story.
He was one of us, and we just all hung out. You go to Cunha Station and hang out and drink beer and raise hell, and then pretty soon you go into a beach party or a party at somebody's house, or it's just we did that all the time.
You're saying drinking and driving was a big part of all of this.
There's no traffic, so you can turn your lights off and drive home.
Those guys racing down Main Street in reverse.
Yeah,
drag racing.
Bruno Del Porto and a guy we called Nuts. They had 256 Chevys, or one each. And I was at the firehouse one day, and I heard this squealing, and I looked down towards Cunha's, and here come these 256 Chevys. One was black and white, and one was all black, and they come flying by me backwards. And you when you go to reverse, you kind of twist. They were all over the goddamn flying by. Jesus.
That's it. Dennis's one of Dennis's best stories that he used to tell was when the night he got arrested and spent the night in the small jail in Half Moon Bay.
Yeah.
Was when he was drag racing down Main Street and he got arrested for drag racing down past the Bonito when he was drunk.
Yeah, I don't remember that. Did he ever tell you the one when he hit the cop car?
Allegedly hit the cop car. I'm just kidding. Yeah, he hit the cop car. He hit the cop car.
Night. Cop was out.
I don't know if it was the same night, but he hit the cop car on the bridge right by where Dad's Luncheonette is now.
Really? Okay.
That's where he hit it.
Yeah. Well, it was parked over here, and he had given a ticket to some lady.
Yeah.
The lady was in front. He pulled her over.
And he smoked it.
And here comes Dennis. Whammy. And he went past Kelly Avenue and down south of, I don't know, a couple of streets.
Yeah.
And he bailed out of the car and went running home and went to bed.
Yeah. So he's gone now. So I can tell this story and we won't be in trouble. He hit that cop car and he did exactly what he said. He went a couple streets over. He ran down the street all the way down to Spindrift from town.
Yeah.
On the beach in the sand.
Oh, no. I thought he went down the highway.
No. He said he ran down the beach where they couldn't see him.
Crazy.
I thought all the time that he ran down the highway.
He ran down the beach.
Got in bed and
got home dripping wet and sweat. Jumped in bed and the cop came and knocked on the door and my grandmother answered the door. This is the story I've heard my whole life. Knocked on the door. Hey, is Dennis home? Yeah, he's been asleep for a while and he never came to the door. So then all of a sudden, then they started investigating it and he had to go, they took him to a lie detector test for that. Took him to a lie detector test and he told the story so many times that he believed it.
Oh, yeah.
And he passed the lie detector test and got off. Got off clean.
I love it.
Yeah.
The roads back then, though, were crazy. Like the story I've heard a million times, I'm pretty sure it's Bob Edwards, but he's leaving the Sangro store, going home in town, and he's like, I'm going to try to drive in the wrong side of the road all the way home. Got on the wrong side, right? Was that Bob?
Yeah.
Wrong side of the road all the way to town. And he said there's one car that was coming in his lane, and the car just went.
He played chicken.
Somebody that knew him.
Yeah.
These guys have been gone for years, but there was guys that used to always brag about who could go from Half Moon Bay to San Mateo the fastest. And they'd go over Highway 92 with them old cars squealing and shit. But sometimes they said they'd come home and just turn the lights off and be coming back to Half Moon Bay with no lights on and never see a car.
Holy shit. Pitch black?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I know.
See, I feel like I know that road pretty good just because I have to drive it all the time now. And I used to do it when I'd be coming home from basketball games. I'd be in the back seat of my parents' car when I started dating Claire. She was back there one time coming back, and I was laying down in her lap. I had my head in her lap, and I closed my eyes. I go, watch this. I'm gonna fucking name every turn and every bump on this road. And we went over it. I did all right. I obviously missed a fucking couple turns and whatever. But I was like, yeah, I'm going to fucking race it. My dad told me a story in the 55 car that a guy tried to race him, which is funny because in the 55, it's meant, especially that car, it's going straight. Yeah. You're not going to be fucking turning it. It's got no power steering, whatever. But the guy tried to race him for pink slips over 92 to San Mateo in a little truck. I can't remember what kind of truck it was, but my dad was like, no. I go to straight line. He's like, I race Leonard Rice, but Jimmy Rice.
Yeah. I remember when he did that.
Yeah, that was
Jimmy said,
story.
You know how much fucking money this is going to cost me?
Oh yeah,
when he lost, that's what he said.
I don't think they talked for a few years after that race, south of town. Yeah, yeah. We just got that thing running again. We hadn't started it in probably 2 or 3 years.
Wow.
And then obviously you pop the cylinder hats off and you pour the oil in through there, but it was fun. I hadn't done that before.
Yeah.
It was cool.
I remember the last time I saw it was, I think it was at Tammy and Von Ullman.
Prom.
Yeah.
Yeah, I drove it to prom. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
I didn't have a date that night, so I was pissed off.
Well, let's jump back. So sorry, I kind of lost track. But
Army?
No. Yeah, Army. So you go to Vietnam. You did well. First, you got stationed in Washington.
Yeah, that basic training. Then I went to Fort Hood, Texas.
Uh huh.
And a cool thing that
you went on a date with a girl.
No, they put me in this it's airfield. They put me in I was an engine guy. Well, no, I went to school after that. I had to go to Virginia for engine school. Mm-hmm. Both helicopter and fixed wing aircraft. And so I went to Fort Hood, and they put me at the airfield, and I was in charge of this little area and the little building, Quonset hut, and it had an airplane in it. And it looked like a giant Piper Cub. It's called a U-6A Beaver, but it was like a big giant Cub. It had one motor in the front. You see them a lot in Alaska, flying floats. But anyway.
Loves beavers.
Those things, they got a radial engine. You got to start them every couple of days because the oil will leak down and collect in the bottom cylinder. And if you start it with that oil in there, it could blow the head off of the little motor.
Like radial, like a rotary engine?
Yeah.
Like a Wankel?
Radial, yeah.
Okay.
So this major came out and he said, look, I'm tired of coming out here and doing this. He says, I'm going to get you orders so that you can run it up for us. I go, oh, great. So he showed me how to do it, and then he got me the orders, and I went every 2 days. I'd take the goddamn airplane down, cross the main taxiway or the main runway. I had to get a permission from the tower, and then go down to where I'd go down and get fuel. I'd go down and get the steam cleaner and wash the thing or whatever. And I did that, and I loved it. And I was going down the taxiway one time, and I said, they let me fly. When I was in the air, they'd let me fly. When I'd go with them, whenever it moved. And they'd let me fly, and they'd go to sleep, the fucking guys. It was just keep it going where it says, the heading on the compass, and stay level, and and then I'm going to sleep. And I said, okay. So I'd fly, and I loved it. I just freaking loved it. And I'd get on that taxiway, and I'd go, and I said, if I just give this thing throttle, I could take off and go home to Half Bay. I did that, but I never did land one or take one off. But anyway, that was a great experience. And then I was back and forth with Ronnie. Ronnie and I Ronnie Buck, we got a bottle of 151 proof rum and some pineapple juice.
Oh, my God. Everclear.
Yeah. And we sat in his house and we drank them. And, of course, we both got looped. And I'm
going to start saying that one. We got looped.
Poor bastard.
I like that.
He had to go to the hospital because of his stomach. And after that, he liked it because he never had to go out in the field again. He drove one of those armored personnel carriers.
Oh, shit.
Had the guys in it, you battle, and you're going to drive up, and then they jump out and start shooting. And that's what his job was.
What a crazy job.
It's a lot of fun. And I got shipped I got my orders. I had to go to Fort Bragg, North Carolina. They were building a unit for Vietnam. So I got there in October of 67. Yeah. And no, I got there in July of 67, and then in October of 67, we left 300 men and all our helicopters. Everything went to Vietnam.
Wow.
Yeah.
And mechanicing on helicopters, you saw a lot of shot up choppers and stuff you had to work on.
Yeah, I just worked on that, mainly on the engines. I'd help if I had to, nothing to do, but I always worked on engines.
So,
And I can remember helping, the helicopters come back full of blood, and fucking pieces of people and old torn things. And you had to wash the helicopters out because they get full of blood.
Fuck.
Hold the wounded guys back. So I did that for a year, and then I got out of the Army and came home. And I found in Half Moon Bay, when I left, there was no drugs that I knew of in town, and I was around everybody all the time. And they were probably people using a few, smoking dope and shit, but there was no hard drugs. I came back 2 years later, and the town was completely different. It changed. Younger people the high school had a fucking hill that kids used to go smoke dope on, and all kinds of crazy shit.
When you were in Vietnam, was any of that pretty prominent over there?
Drugs, yeah.
Yeah.
You could buy a bag of dope for $2.
Yeah, were the guys in the military smoking a lot of dope?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
oh yeah.
Okay, I was going to say rightfully so.
Hooch maids.
Kind of deserve it.
The girls will come in with to clean your tent. They call them hooch maids. They clean your hooch. And they'd sell it. They'd sell it to the GIs. A lot of younger guys from LA and shit. I didn't even realize, what the hell are you talking about? He said, "Where are you from?" Fucking Alaska. I'm from California, man. One of the guys was my buddy. He was a flat tracker, a really good one down in L.A.
Uh-huh.
And he rode Triumphs, so we had a lot in common. And I never raced, but I loved the freaking motorcycles. Anyway, yeah, there was drugs. We had a pilot. He was a warrant officer. His last name was Terwilliger. I don't remember his first name, but called him Mr. But anyway, he had a big Meerschaum pipe. You know those white Meerschaum pipes?
Yeah.
It had a face carved in it and a big stem. And he'd fill that thing up and tamp it down and fill it and tamp it and then fill it with dope. And he'd fire it up. And he'd say, "Let's go." And he'd start pulling levers and away we'd go. But he was one of the best pilots the company had.
Yeah.
What about that opium deal they tricked you into?
Cigarettes were laced with opium. Yeah.
Oh, no shit.
Oh yeah.
I thought they took you in one of them dens or something.
They talked me into the 6 cigarettes.
Oh.
I bought a pack of them.
You try them?
Yeah.
What'd that feel like?
It was crazy, man. I had dreams. That's what opium does. It makes you dream. And I had dreams of strange things.
Did they come true, or was it just paranoia?
It was paranoia, I guess. I was watching a big husky black man dancing on a violin. And every time he touched the strings, noise would come out. It was wild.
Oh, I love it. That's your paranoia?
That's really paranoia. I think I would have seen guys shooting at us and stuff.
Yeah. Well,
go for it.
No, well, I know from a bit of like Vietnam War history is that like helicopters were very new to combat.
Yeah.
When
64 is the first time.
Yeah. And so I know that they were completely defenseless to begin with, and then they slowly started basically jerry-rigging machine guns.
We always had a gunner and a crew chief.
Yeah.
And they'd sit in the seats behind, or not seats, but sit on the thing there, on the deck behind the pilot and the co-pilot. And they had M60 machine guns.
Yeah.
And they would just fire all the time in the jungle and shit, anybody running, they had open season.
Yeah.
Well, it was always funny, you know. I know you were really close with Coach D, but it was I shouldn't say funny, but it was interesting when we'd go to do the hay maze at Arata's, and we'd go, Coach D, come in, and he'd be like, no. I can't fucking go in there. I get flashbacks from when I was in Vietnam. That's what he ended up telling us. But it was like, damn, that's really heavy.
He was in the first
I'm like, I'm going to try to find my way out of this maze.
He was in the first Air Cavalry.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And they did infantry work too, but he got to be a gunner on a gunship, and that's what he liked. He didn't want to be in the jungles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, he was a great man.
He was a great man.
I really loved him, man.
I
He was
don't even
a coach, but I loved the way he approached kids and did things with kids.
Yeah, yeah. I as we get older, I'm sure you're appreciating it a lot more now too. But I don't know. Is the high school still doing Wednesday night talks? What do you call it?
Life lesson.
Life lessons. Yeah.
Life lessons. Lice lessons.
Yeah.
We had lice in Vietnam.
Nice.
They're crotch crickets.
Oh shit. I don't know if they're doing life lessons anymore though.
I don't know. I don't know which coach are doing.
That's Brandon.
It's too bad.
Yeah.
It's too bad if they're not.
Yeah, they should. Somebody's got to carry on that tradition.
You know, I've always said since I've watched this movie 3-4 times. It's called The Band of Brothers.
Oh yeah.
And my point is those guys were so close and so involved with each other that they did good and they came out ahead. And that's what you guys did. You were a band of brothers. And
Yeah.
You played little Pop Warner football for so many years, and you knew pretty much what each guy's going to do. And you just were gelled into a unit that you couldn't be beat. Those years that the Giants won the pennants, here 14 and 12 and 16 or whatever it was, those guys were all gelled. The Giants, I don't think they even know each other's name now. They don't like each other. And if you love all those guys, you're going to do good together for each other.
Yeah.
And that's what you guys did in that football. That was the greatest fucking experience I ever had.
He always says the favorite years of his life were 15 through 17.
They were.
No shit.
I'm serious. My wife and I, we loved that so much. It was just great.
I mean, you're definitely not off when you say that it was a band of brothers, especially our senior year.
Yeah, no, I could
2017. We had been since we were 6 or 7 in Pop Warner. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, that is nuts.
It's crazy, but it sure worked.
Yeah, definitely worked. Didn't know how you could rely on people, but you knew that you could rely on people. That's the biggest part, right? Did you feel like that with anybody when you went to Vietnam? Like,
yeah, some guys, being in a helicopter, I was at the base all the time. And it was in the jungle, and we got hit quite a bit, and we got firefights, and we had all kinds of shit happen. But for the most part, I wasn't in the jungle with guys.
Mm-hmm.
We had a big perimeter around our camp, and it was just a big ditch. It was maybe this wide, and maybe I don't know, this deep, and we slept in there because after that Tet Offensive in 1968, we got 6 killed and 36 wounded. But the guys next to us, which was a small unit, and our Cobra, the Huey Cobras came from another place. Pleiku was the name of it. And it was firing miniguns. That thing, that airplane they called the Puff the Magic Dragon or whatever. It had a minigun sticking out the windows on one side, and that thing would come over and go like this, turn like this. And it would go. It would just.
Holy shit!
How it would. So we killed 2,200, and then we had to go out the next 2 days later. We had to go out there and check and see if everyone was dead and no booby traps and no shit like that. So a bunch of us went out there. I went out there. The guy next to me, we're walking with our rifles, looking at the dead bodies and shit. And the guy next to me, I hear ping. Oh! And he went like that, put his head back. There was a hole here in his helmet.
Oh.
And he went like this. And he sat up and his blood started coming down. And I said, oh. And he went, and he pulled his helmet off. And the bullet went through the helmet and the liner. And there was like, when you'd open an old-time beer can, the points and the thing. And it just cut his skin.
Oh my
But he
God.
bent those back and put his helmet on and we went back walking.
Oh
But
my God.
I thought he was dead. I'm not kidding you.
Yeah.
Why did it hit him and not me? But it did.
Damn.
Yeah.
Do you feel do you have a couple stories like that from war where you feel like it might have been you if it wasn't somebody else?
You always think that. They're shooting at you. I was at a foxhole and I was out there in that tent thing. I was in this foxhole. It was pretty good deep, and I was hiding down in there. And a mortar round came in and it landed. It made a hole 6 feet from me. And that knocked me crazy for a few minutes. It just was a big explosion. That's me. It had to be a mortar because it came straight down. And there was outside of our fence, there was a tree. And I seen looking at it, trying to shoot people and look at things. And I seen this fucking RPG, the rockets that come out like a bazooka thing, but it's a rocket.
Yeah.
You see that Iraqis have them now, and everybody has them.
Yeah.
That thing come flying, and I could have touched it. It went right behind me. We had a deuce and a half truck, and the guys got smart and they built a mount in it. And they put a minigun in it, and then inside the bed there was a dump truck, and inside there they put sandbags all along, and they were behind it, and then it was shooting over. Tried to shoot that truck to put it out of commission. It did hit it.
Yeah.
And it was,
With the bazooka?
yeah, with that RPG.
Holy shit.
Yes, RPG is rifled propelled grenade or something. I don't know. Anyway, yeah. There's a sergeant in there, good guy from someplace in the south. And it blew the cheek of his ass off. You could see. Listen, I could see his. I tried to help him, poor bastard, but I could see his
third eye?
hip bone and his leg bone, the knob.
Oh, gosh.
Poor booger. I don't know how he made out, but he don't weigh very much now. Jesus. It's like cutting a whole ham off a pig.
Oh my God.
Poor bastard. He was in bad shape. Poor bastard. We had 36 guys in the hospital.
Wow. Well,
You keep taking us into these funny fucking moments. And then you keep throwing all these
I'm sorry.
36 guys in the hospital. I was like, fuck. Still thinking about the ham ass.
well, when you got back
You
from
look on your cell phone and you look up 57th AHC Assault Helicopter Company. It'll come up and it'll have the story of the whole thing that was there.
Oh, no way.
It's in years. So I was there in 68, 67. You read those two, you can see what they did. Drink that up. I got this peanut butter whiskey you can try.
Oh, shit. You want some?
Yeah. Thanks. I went uptown one day. I had a little afternoon off, so I go uptown and
stop it.
And I went to the bar, and they had girls there. So
What kind of girls?
this chick, horror girls. This chick loaded me up, right?
She lifted you up?
No, she loaded me up,
Oh, I thought you said lifted you up.
and we retired to her cot. And I was been drinking a whiskey that comes from Thailand. They call it, I think I got a name for it, but it's Thai whiskey, and it's strong and gross. Anyway, I woke up outside with my head in her lap. I don't usually tell this to people, but she had an ammo can, a 30 caliber ammo can, right? And in it was water. It was kind of coffee colored, and she had an old pair of used GI shorts, and she was wringing it out and wiping my head with it. I was wiping my face, and then I woke up and I looked at that and I said, "Holy fuck! I got to go back and take a shower, so I can't do this." But my head hurt so bad.
That old Thai whiskey.
I just went back and went to bed. But Jesus Christ! But anyway, I slept outside on the perimeter a lot.
Want to get your business in front of a loyal local audience? Between Shifts brings coastside stories to life with real conversations, local legends, and plenty of laughs. Sponsorships include custom ad reads, shout-outs in episodes, and visibility across all our socials, all designed to connect your brand with engaged listeners who support local. Now please email betweenshiftspod@gmail.com for any inquiries. Thank you.
What was one of your favorite places to travel and go see?
At that time,
Yeah, just
we didn't get to travel.
well, I mean, okay, you're there for work.
R&R.
Oh yeah,
I went on an R&R, 5-day R&R in country. And it was down in
country.
Vung Tau thing. And it's supposed to be a truce area. So soldiers can't fight and everything. Well, the fucking Vietnamese.
R&R areas is rest and recovery.
Yeah, it's off duty to guns and shit. You don't have guns and you don't have this, no way. But anyway, yeah. I met some guys from New Zealand. They're crazy son of a bitches. They're
Good guys, huh?
They're nuts. Yeah, they're good guys, but
Yeah.
they drink beer like
It's insane.
they don't stop.
I traveled there for 9 months, and it was just like every beer you have, it doesn't matter if you had 8 or 2. It was always, let's have a couple more.
Yeah.
A couple more. And they just keep pushing them on.
No, but the guys were that way. They're goofy. And one guy leans over to me and he says, "Have you seen an Australian $1?" And I said, "No." So he pulled out $1 and he handed it to me. It was an Australian dollar. The guy's Aussie. So I thought, that's pretty cool. I says, "You seen an American $1?" He says, "I seen him." I says, "I'll tell you what, I'll trade you. I keep this in my wallet so when I get home I can buy a drink." I says, "But I'll trade you. I'll take care. I've got it in here, an Australian $1.
Yeah.
He's got mine. He probably spent it on something.
A hooker.
Some woman.
Well,
Week 2.
You're good.
all right. Well, when you got back from Vietnam, how soon after that did you have the idea to start your trucking business?
Oh shit! I got back in in the end of '68.
Okay.
And I went back to work for Andretti's right away. I just went down and said, "Hey, I'm home. And you got any work?" He said, "Yeah, come in tomorrow." So I worked for him for 6 years.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, I went working for him, and then I got a few other different jobs, driving trucks and shit. And then I said to myself, after I hurt my spine, I got hurt from work related, and I ruined a disc between 2 vertebrae. So I went in the hospital finally after a bunch of time and shit. In 1975, I went in the hospital. I had a fusion of my lower back, two vertebrae fused together, and I was home for a year. In the hospital in Mills for 46 days, but I got home for a year.
Wow.
And time to go back to work. So I went to work for the old company, and I was driving a truck there, and I said, I should get my own. So I quit them, and I came down and I bought that 10-wheel dump truck that Jim Rice used to have, his first truck.
Oh, wow.
I bought it, and I worked around here in different places and worked with that. And then I got offered a job on bottom dumps with Pacific Ready-Mix. It's an old concrete company that was on the peninsula for many years. But anyway, I went over there and I bought a truck, and I went over and I started pulling bottom dumps. And went from Santa Cruz, Scotts Valley, hauled sand up to the different plants we have. And I hauled from Pleasanton. I hauled rock from Pleasanton over to these plants. So that lasted from 78 to 86. The company sold all the trucks, sold all their business. It sold out to another big company from England, from Lone Star Industries, another company here. And we didn't have any work anymore, so I got out of it and I went to work for that company in the safety department. I was there for 3 or 4 years, and then 79 I went to Redwood City, the cement terminal, and I became the manager of that plant.
Oh, well.
Yeah, so I had a good job until 2005. I retired.
Okay.
How long did you own your own trucks?
13 years.
Nice.
A lot of people in town had trucking businesses.
Yeah.
From the Rices to my grandpa to you.
Joe Garcia.
And Jenny's.
And trainees. Yeah, they're still going too.
Yeah.
Well, I got a separate question. We're going to change topics a little bit, but Baird barbecue. I don't know. I've always wondered the origin of the Baird barbecue because yeah. No, let's just get into it. Did you start it?
Yeah. My mother-in-law and father-in-law, they owned this property. And he had a few cows running on it. And every year when it came time to brand calves and castrate and do all that shit, he only had about 10 calves, 10 cows, maybe 6, I don't know. But anyway, Jack Bermonis, Vince Fontana, I don't know, a couple other guys, can't remember who all, but anyway, all of us were there. They'd come over, Johnny Souza, they'd come over and they'd go out with the horses and round up the cows and bring them in, their calves, and then we'd brand them and whatever. And so I said, I feel bad. These guys come here and work, they have fun and everything, we all get drunk, but we should feed them. So that was in 1975. No, 74. 75, I guess. It wasn't the year I had. It was 76, the first one. 75. But anyway, which is the first time we just had beans and hot dogs. And had just a handful of people.
At the grounds down there?
We're down here.
Uh-huh.
We just ate in the pickups and shit out here. Right.
Not where it is now.
At the crest.
In the field.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And then it went from there to let's have a few friends, had neighbors around this area. And that was probably 76. And it went from there. Now it's 250 people, 3 days. And it just built itself up. So this coming year is going to be 51.
Wow.
51 years we've been doing that.
It's crazy.
How long did it take, though? How many years did you do before you started putting a pig in the ground? Before you started doing the pig?
Well, we did turkeys. We did deer. I remember with Rich Deeney one night. I went up and I said, Rich, I'm in trouble. He said, what's the matter? I said, I need 2 deer for the barbecue. Oh, shit, come get in the pickup. We got 2 does. And George and I cleaned them and cut them up in little pieces. And then we made them little pieces like chopped up. You know, they were small.
Yeah.
And then we just rolled them around a hot barbecue and we marinated them and then did that. And they were delicious. People didn't know what they were eating. I told one guy, he said, what is this, man? This is delicious. I said, seal. Seal? I said, yeah, we go down to the ocean. I said, we'll shoot a seal and we'll bring it in and clean it out. And when we bring it up here, and we cook the goddamn seal. I said, the meat's good, huh? He said, oh, it's delicious. Can I take some home to my mom? I said, yeah, take some home to your mom. So, she was from the islands, right? His mom was from the islands. And she says, that's not seal, you stupid. Anyway, yeah, we did that. We did deer meat a couple of years, and then we did turkeys for a couple of years. And we did everything we could. And then Bud Villa says, let's cook a goddamn pig in the ground, man. And we'll do some cow heads, bull heads. So we put a pig and 2 bull heads in the ground and cooked them. And then after that, it was just a pig every year.
How many pigs do you think we've done in the ground?
Probably 45.
45.
That's awesome.
Wow. Yeah.
That is how the Islanders do it too.
Yeah.
In Hawaii.
It's a luau, like a luau thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, they worked good. Well, we did the first day, everybody had that, and then Sunday we make tacos and change it a little bit and put Mexican stuff in it.
I mean, I really can't remember a point in my life when the Baird barbecue wasn't around.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially for you, but like,
you'd have to be 55.
Yeah, I mean, really, like my dad doesn't either.
Yeah.
Really?
Whole life. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Well, what's one story that gets told at every Baird barbecue? I mean, no matter who's heard it, how many times it's been said, you're always going to tell it.
I don't know. Do you know it?
No. It's
Football.
not a trick
Football.
question.
The first minute, quite a few years, I asked my wife. I was blind halfway through.
How about tell them the time that you passed out before dinner and Grammy just rolled you underneath the table and everyone was eating.
Yeah. I thought I was smart. I was drinking, I think, really mild whiskey.
Yeah.
I think it's Canadian. really Canadian, not Canadian Mist. It was Royal, Crown Royal. I guess it was Crown Royal.
That's a good drink.
I was drinking that.
Super mild.
Telling everybody, come and have a drink with Uncle Robin. I said, this is just like the Cowboys. You drink and you don't even make a face. Well, I made a face. I was laying under the table. And I told everybody I was a shoe inspector. When they walked by.
Yeah, my grandma, just that whole food table there.
Yeah.
Just rolled them underneath there.
Kept serving.
And I was smoking a cigar. Nancy Fontanes came over. She said something to me, and I said, I'm okay. And I was smoking a cigar. And then she said, I came back 2 hours later, and you went, blew smoke at me. She says, how did that happen? I said, I lit another cigar, Nancy. You usually can't keep that in your lungs for 2 hours.
Yeah.
Poor Nancy.
What about a little Grammy side of the family, San Gregorio history?
Grammy. Okay, well, there was people that owned the store down here. Packard was their last name. And they owned it for some years in the 1800s, and then they owned it here, the original store. So Lodi's grandfather worked at the Winty Winery. I don't think he made wine, but he worked in the winery there in Livermore. That's where he was from. And old man Alsford, where he came from, I don't know, but he was in World War I. He came home from World War I and he's looking for something to do. So he got somehow his wife and Lodi's grandmother were sisters. And so the two brother-in-laws decided to come here and look at the store and buy it and run the store. So that's where it started. I don't know exactly what year that was, but in 1932, they had a big fire and it burnt the store down. And then...
Which that store was in the middle of 84, right?
No, I think it was where the new one was.
Oh, it is
they rebuilt there, made a new one.
Okay.
This 84 wasn't there. The house was in there where they lived.
Yeah, gotcha. And then...
And so...
but...
So Lodi's
Lodi's
mother was a Pacheco. You know that. She had 11 kids in her family, Pachecos. Mateo and little Mateo and there was a whole bunch of kids.
Gavin do back there.
Different families. And Bob Peterson, her father, was in World War II, and he got sick, some jungle freaking thing. And came home, and he started taking Hazel out, the mother, taking her out, and then finally they got married. So Lodi was born in 1947. He got sick in the army, and they sent him home, I think, before the war was over.
And that was so he was in the Pacific?
Yeah, in the Pacific. And he got sick over in, I don't know, some jungle fucking place.
Yeah.
But they got married, and he was in the hospital and sick and everything. And then while he was coming home and recuperating, his father decided he didn't want to be in the store anymore. So he went to San Francisco and got a job at the zoo, San Francisco Zoo.
Really?
A zookeeper.
Huh.
So Lodi's father said, well, I'll work here for a while until see how it goes. Because he had started before the war. He went to Davis, UC Davis, to become a veterinarian.
Okay.
And then he just gave that up and stayed in the store. Him and Hazel worked there as partners with Eric Alsford, the other partner, and his wife and the daughter, Nancy Glass. That's where Bob Dooley's wife, Sharon, came from. Do you know Bob Dooley?
Yeah.
Yeah, his wife, Sharon. She's a Glass.
Okay.
Anyway, they were there until he got sick and had heart problems and shit.
Okay.
He was 58 years old when he died.
Okay.
He's a hell of a man. He was the greatest father-in-law I could ever imagine having. What a wonderful person he was.
Yeah.
She doesn't like the admin at all. Hey,
You're all right.
there's Arron. Say hi to him.
Honey, you're on camera.
What?
You're on camera.
Here, put these on,
All
Graham.
right. Put those on. For yours?
Yeah.
You're gonna have to hold that.
Talk about your mom and dad.
Yeah, there you go.
When did your dad's side end up in San Gregorio? Do you know?
The family. My dad was third generation. So, he was born in San Gregorio.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
But when did Grandpa Pete come?
Well, before him. So, before he was born. So he was
Okay.
there in the 20s. My dad was born in 21.
Yeah. So the 1919 or 18 or whatever,
Yeah.
they came here.
And all the way to Frost, we've all been raised in San Gregorio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, wait a second. Aaron currently lives in the first address in La Honda.
Oh, yeah. I don't claim La Honda.
I'm kidding.
Other than the 4 years in Chicago and 2 years in the Army, I've been here for my whole life, within 5 miles.
That's insane.
But so both of her parents were born, like dad was born in San Gregorio, mom was born in Prisma.
That's fucking cool.
Yeah.
And then her dad graduated from Half Moon Bay High in the 30s, right?
Yeah. 39.
That's really cool.
So is that when it was where Cunha is now?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was like a 2-story building.
Okay.
I went there too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have pictures of it somewhere.
What year did that change? When did it go up onto the high school hill?
When she was
65?
When did they move up to the hill?
Yeah.
In 63, spring of 63.
Oh,
So
okay.
that would have been when Breen Sr. and my grandfather were
Yes.
graduating.
Yeah, we moved up there spring break in 63.
What year did your grandpa Dennis get out of school? I thought he was.
I have no clue.
I thought he was.
I just know he's always said that him and Breen Sr.
Okay. Well, Jimmy Rice was in her class. Vince Montana was in her class.
Okay.
65. So
And so was Breen.
Breen too. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah.
And what about, was Dennis in your class too, Grammy? No?
What was Dennis? Was he behind you or above
He was
you?
ahead of me.
Ahead of you?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was an asshole, huh?
I don't know. I didn't know him then.
He never was.
I'm just fucking around.
Grammy, what about San Gregorio when you were a kid? What like, talk about the Souza Ranch and how many ranches were in this area and stuff. How many people were in San Gregorio?
Oh, not many people. I think at one time the population was like 100, 150.
Yeah.
You know,
But it was 150 people that you knew.
Well, no,
probably.
Yeah.
110 of them were cousins.
And what did the store sell when you were a kid?
Everything.
Guns, jeans,
Ammo,
Feed,
kerosene, feed,
plumbing fittings,
condoms. So
clothes. It had a bar.
yeah,
Of course, I had a bar.
ice cream, candy counter,
Yeah.
clothes,
Yeah.
food,
Drugs.
drugs, sold everything.
We had a license to sell opium.
Yeah, there used to be a Chinese camp down here.
Yeah.
People from China, and they worked in the fields and stuff, and they were all camped up in one place, and they could come in there and buy and get opium
In
Oh,
the
wow.
top drawer.
I got mine.
because they needed it, you know.
Yeah. And we also had a license to sell margarine
Okay.
because it wasn't real, the color. And
But that was during the war when people didn't have butter.
yeah, but we had to have a license to sell it.
Really? Huh. Well, when did Dewart's when did that come into the picture?
For you?
You know, I'm not that familiar with the arts. It's been there forever,
Yeah.
but
with
forever,
You know
whatever reason, my family
Often
like
access
never
with it.
went
All
there.
right.
What can I say?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
What about back then, San Gregorio? You remember you guys always say you just ride your horses from the store to the beach and up to the school and
all over the place. It was nice. Our parents never worried about us. We'd be gone all day.
Were a lot of people fishing, just like off the coast and bringing home fish for dinner back then?
Sure.
Yeah.
Abalone.
Yeah.
Mussels, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
What was the steelhead fishing like in the creek?
Well, I think it was good because there was a lot of people in there with gaff hooks and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sure it was good. The creek has changed because there's so many people drawing off of it. So it's not near the creek it used to be.
Yeah. How was the flooding with it back then?
How was the what?
The flooding of the creek back then? Did it ever get too bad?
I can remember a few times when it was like coming over the top of the bridge.
Yeah.
It was that high. But and it would flood the flat by it and stuff, but not that often.
Yeah.
It was okay. Everybody kind of just
I was down there a few times and got high, but I never saw that. Listen, I want you to know that this is my wife talking, not me.
His wife got high.
Yes.
Was a story the other day you guys said I never heard it before. When you guys met, Grammy, you crashed your car and Grammy was milking a goat.
I was going up Prisma Canyon. That's how I met her. I was going up Prisma Canyon in my pickup, and I looked down at something. We didn't have cell phones then, so I was trying to write a note, and the pickup got I went off the road a little bit, and the pickup got a blowout, and I swerved over and hit this barn. I was, Jesus Christ, I crashed the pickup. I went in the barn, and here she was milking goats. That's how I met her. The goats were all screwed up. And I had to go help her get them back together and everything. And that's
the goats were all screwed up. I wasn't.
It's been her.
I was the truck that just crashed into a barn. I had to help her get the goats back in order.
It's been her and me ever since.
And what year was that?
Amazing.
1969.
69.
Oh, we got married.
Great year to get married, huh?
Yeah, we got married. I still can't eat goat cheese. I wouldn't.
Oh, shit.
Okay.
Feta. No feta. This is way better without the feta.
I don't know.
I know that's silly.
I don't know.
So how many generations have you been here in San Gregorio? Or your family's been?
My family's been here.
I think
1, 2, 3.
Frosty's 7, huh?
4. David's 5. You're 6. Frosty's 7.
Yeah.
Wow.
7 generations.
Yeah.
It's a long time.
That's a very long time.
I mean, the craziest thing is that San Gregorio really hasn't. I mean, it's changed, but like, it's really been developed and stuff.
Yeah.
Well,
crazy.
Where the store is, there was a house and then another house, Catholic church, all on Stage Road going up that way. Below the highway was another saloon besides the one that's up there.
Yeah.
Another church and the school. So the town has really shrunk. Yeah.
Yeah, it has.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The store has changed dramatically.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I mean it's a tourist spot now, which
yeah.
Well, it stays. Oh no, it bridges that gap between tourist spot and staying local.
But we used to have like a really big grocery section.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. People would come and do their shopping.
Yeah.
With their little list to get all their stuff. A lot of the ranches had accounts with us. They'd pay once a year.
Wow.
When they sold their crops or
Yep.
cattle or whatever,
Whiskey.
Yep.
or whiskey, I don't know. But and all the ranches had names then. You know, if they just had their own names, and
What was the biggest ranch back then?
it was probably the Sousa Ranch, which was part of this.
Part of this, all across the street and down over there. If you go out to the highway, you look, you see Sousa Ranch. Big.
And it was called Sunnybrook Farms.
Yeah.
Okay.
At the time. Yeah.
Ruby.
So that was kind of, the other thing, there used to be a lot of people that had dairy cattle. And we had a big platform off the side of the building that people would bring their milk cans down, unload them there, and then a company would come and pick up all their milk and leave their empties.
Golden State Dairies.
Yeah.
There was a big dairy up in Troutmere. There's a milk bottle on the shelf there.
That's before Troutmere.
Yeah, it's a Muller Ranch. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, with the
It says Troutmere on it, doesn't it? Maybe.
What does it say on there?
That little bottle. Yeah.
No, not that.
No.
The one on the windowsill.
Above the window. I think it says Troutmere, but it's Muller's. Mayor Muller or whatever Muller in Hudson Bay.
Yeah.
Troutmere and Guernsey.
Ray Mueller. He's the one that's going for.
Yeah. Well, that's a different Muller.
Okay.
Muller, I went to school with both of the daughter and the son. They had two sons and a daughter, and they had the Guernsey cows.
Okay.
They were Swiss people.
Okay.
And nothing against them now. but
oh dear.
But yeah, they had all kinds of bottles of shit. They're hard to find right now. So that's what this was here.
I was thinking behind the store we had racks with all kinds of galvanized pipe. And we had a big pipe cutter back there and a threader, and ranchers would come and buy, what they needed, and we'd cut it and thread it and everything for them.
For all the irrigation for the farms.
Whatever,
and stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
And they had, we sold white gas, we sold kerosene, chicken feed, bamboo poles for fishing. Just the naked poles,
Yeah.
Poke poles.
Yeah,
some people bought them.
They bought them for
catching the eels and stuff.
Yeah. We still have some poke poles from like her parents' generation and like her uncle Eric. Like we have his poke pole and stuff. Like some really old.
Do you ever go out poke pole?
Yeah. We try to go. The one big low tide a year. We try to go every year down Pescadero. And
dude, it's so fun.
It is a blast.
It's like it's guaranteed catch.
When those giant snakes come out on the rock and you got to get up.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
They're slimy though.
This is her grandfather up here standing in front with that sunfish.
Oh, yeah.
And he was, at the time, he would work whenever he could at the store, but he had a business that worked out of the store, but it was a sheet metal business. And also he was a plumber. And he was the only one from like Montera to Santa Cruz County line.
Yeah.
He would plumb all the houses and shit. But those days, nobody had toilets.
Yeah.
Jack Betancourt in town on Half Moon Bay, right close to where the fire department, the old fire department was here. And then there's a street that goes down. Jack Betancourt is on this corner. His mother and father had the first flush toilet on the coast side.
Wow.
People used to drive from Pescadero just to look and see the toilet. I'd have left a little prize for him. But.
Grammy, can you tell us about your dad when he was still drinking a lot, when he was bartending bar and stuff, and when he was a bad alcoholic back then?
He did become a huge alcoholic. And I'm sure the store had a lot to do with it, working as a bartender. But when I was about, 11 or 12, he went into a rehab in Woodside. And it was real, first 2 weeks you would be there once or twice a day. They would pour you a shot of everything, the best. Vodka, bourbon, gin, everything. And then they'd give you salt water, and you'd have to throw it all up. And they'd measure it to make sure it all came up.
Yeah.
And he went through that for a year. The visits kept getting further and further apart.
Ocho Cinco. No.
And
I want peanut butter whiskey.
he never drank again.
You know where it is?
But he came back and continued bartending and
Yeah.
taking care of the
David
store.
wants some too.
But
Yeah.
he was sober from then on.
What about Poppy? Was he a good bartender at the store?
Sometimes.
You know, her father had a heart attack and got sick and he couldn't work. So I went and worked on the weekends. Took his place. Served gas outside and 4 drinks. And I had a hell of a following. I guess I did pretty good. People,
A following, huh?
I had a signature drink. It was called a snowball. No.
Screwball.
Snowshoe.
Snowshoe.
Called a snowshoe. It was,
And what was that?
Yeah.
it was brandy and brandy and premium mint and something else. I don't know. Anyway,
Okay.
people come from miles around to have the goddamn snowshoe. But one time I said, I'm not going to get, I'd get hammered by the end of the day. Every day I attend a bar, buying you drinks and shit, you get drunk. So I,
Just a little.
look at
Thank you.
You tell me
a
when.
little bit more. 3 fingers. No, that's good. Thank you. David wants some. Yeah.
Davey's ready.
Cool.
Screwball, I almost bought you this bottle instead of Pendleton.
No, there's somebody else bought me that bottle.
No, I said I almost bought you this one.
Oh.
I didn't buy you this one.
Oh.
No, I know you did.
You guys killed the Pendleton already?
These guys,
It was empty already.
these guys are drinking.
Yeah.
We brought it halfway.
Anyway,
Yeah.
I went in there and I told Lodi, I says, I'm tired of getting drunk every night. I can't handle this. I'm going to do nothing but drink
Want some Coke?
What's that?
Coke?
like Bailey's. What was it?
Kahlua.
Kahlua. I'm going to drink Kahlua today. Just a little shot of Kahlua. At the end of that day, I was upside down and sick and so much chocolate and stuff in me. I thought I came working at C's candy store. Here's to you guys. And here's to podcasting, wherever you are.
Yeah, whatever that is. That's fucking cool. The San G store used to have a gas pump.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
We always sold gas
There
there.
was one for Ethel and one for Roller.
Well, would you do diesel for all of the
No.
people's farm equipment, or
No,
they had to go into town for that?
Just gas.
Just
Those
gas.
guys had it delivered by Miramanis to their farms, and they had it.
Okay.
Put diesel in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But their wives, poor boogers, they had to go to the store and buy gas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
used to sell a lot of gas.
I like-
there was no
I
gas
like to take-
stations around.
Yeah.
Like the taste of that whiskey?
I haven't tried it yet.
Tastes like peanut butter.
So
I'll throw some jelly in it. You'll think you're back in school.
tastes just like a sandwich.
That don't taste bad, does it?
No.
If you see in that picture, off to the left, you see that water tank and that tree way on the edge.
Yeah.
That'd be where 84 is, yeah.
That's before Highway 84.
Wow.
And my grandparents' house was in the middle of, where the highway is now. And then on the other side was my aunt and uncle's house.
Yeah.
They were the partners.
Highway 84 wasn't there, so you came off the top of the hill. Stage Road went all the way to Pescadero, then came out on the Highway 1 down that way.
Yeah.
So the tanks for the gas station are still there then?
No, they took them out.
They took them out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had one here forever.
They did that. No, that came from my work in River City.
Oh, never mind.
You guys actually had a tank underground for gas?
Couple of them.
Where?
Oh, shit.
Here? No.
That's what I was asking about the store.
No, those tanks were underground.
Yeah.
And a guy by the name of Jack Nally, no. Bob Nally. Bob Nally had a little construction business, and he worked with the guy that owns the store now.
Yeah.
And they dug that tanks out and dug all the bad dirt out and hauled it away and dumped it in some lake. Nobody knows where it is, and they never got a permit or did anything. So.
Why didn't they just keep the tanks?
They leaked.
Yeah.
So
what?
I know.
Held enough gas to make some money.
My underwear leaks. So that doesn't matter.
Same deal. So
I had to quit going to church because of that.
I have the remnants of that gas pump laying up here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. The wood pile.
Oh, no way.
What about the photo with all the teams, horse and buggies and teams and stuff?
That was the original store. There was 3 stores.
Luke came and got that.
No, it's a little photograph.
We have it here.
The big one that Luke had here. He came and got it. Remember? He said, "This is mine."
Yes.
Whatever.
But I have the small picture.
You have the small. We can have it blown up.
Yeah, we'll have to get a photo of that.
Yeah.
So that was the original store, which would have been.
There was 3 different ones, and that was either the first or second.
Levy Brothers was there, huh?
I don't remember.
And the company that invented the Nat plow for the horse-drawn plow. When you go down the roads, you go like this. You get to the end.
Yeah.
The hills are steep, so you flip the plow over and then come back, and the horse didn't get screwed up on it. So it was a real handy thing in those days. That was the Nat Plow Company, and they were there for a while. And then the Levy Brothers store was there for quite a while.
I don't.
Not very long though.
I don't.
It was here before it was in Half Moon Bay.
Well, I used to work at
It's on Wall Street.
Half Moon Bay Bike Works, so it's in the old Al's Dairy building.
Oh yeah.
Right.
So, what do you guys remember of the? I mean, that's where we normally record podcasts.
Oh really?
Yeah, and so it's in the top tower of the 3rd story in that Al's building. Do you guys have any memories from that building growing up?
No,
not really.
We were in there. They didn't like us. we never
No, I think someone always lived there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Who lived there? Not Frank. Frank and his wife lived.
I don't know who lived there.
By the
I'm much too young.
Lived by the highway of the golf course.
This is the one on Kelly Street.
Yeah.
Well,
this is the Dairy Elves, right?
Yeah.
The dairy people. Yeah. There was. I don't remember how many of the elves there was. There was quite a few though.
Yeah.
If they're Portuguese, there's a bunch of them.
Yeah, there's 2 or 3 families named elves now.
Yeah.
And like the Betancourts, there's 4 or 5 families that were here.
Yeah.
But they're not related.
Yep.
When the people came from Portugal, they took a new name.
Mm-hmm.
And they did that on purpose, I guess.
There's a new Betancourt family that just moved in a couple years ago too.
Really?
Completely separate.
I'll be darned, I didn't know.
Crazy.
Just drawn to this area.
Yep.
Oh, the Enos has changed to Cunha.
Yeah. Pimentels used to be Enos. They changed it to Pimentel.
Yeah. For some reason they don't.
The Bairds changed it to Baird from Schaeffler. So.
Well, I don't blame them. No, it's okay, Hetty. I don't care what your name is.
It doesn't matter anymore.
All right. Well, I got a question for both of you guys. So if you could go back and give yourself at 25 years old any piece of advice, what would it be?
Don't take up sheep farming. No. I like, as you can tell, I like sheep and midgets. It's kind of different. But no, you know what I would do? I would want to marry the same girl and live the same life. I'm serious. This girl has given me more of a life than you can think of. And it's just...
Oh.
We've been married 57 years, right?
Yeah, this year.
This year, 57 years in July. We've never had a fight or a crossword. All that stuff that you hear her say to me is just... No, we've never had a battle. One time.
Not that you can remember.
No, one time. We're trying to put wallpaper in our bathroom down there. And I'm trying to do it. And I never not a bet the paper hanger. And she's chirping at me to do this, do this. I just shut the fuck up. It's the only time I've ever been mean to her. I couldn't take it no more.
You guys,
I'm serious.
really quick, can you guys go into? He talked about
Rehab. We went to rehab.
no. He touched on he was married once before, right?
Oh,
Can you go into how your ex-wife became your stepsister?
That's a strange fucking story, man.
And then they spent every Christmas together, all of them.
Not every Christmas, but a lot of them.
Yeah. Holidays. Yeah. Can you tell them?
His mother married her father.
Oh, his mom and her dad met at their wedding.
No, listen, I went.
And then they got married.
Okay.
And then the kids divorced, and then the parents stayed together.
Oh.
So then when they got married, they kept going to holidays and stuff together.
I had to see my mom. Well, listen, we got married in 1962. The jury mustn't touch it. We got married in 62, and then we got divorced in 65. Yeah, something like that. But I had gone with her from 1959 to 62. We were sweethearts, you know. And again, anyway, when we got married, when her and I got married, my mother and my father was dead, and her father and mother were divorced. So they met at the wedding. Anyway, that was cute. So he became my father-in-law and my stepfather at the same frequency. She became my wife and it's sister-in-law or something. Daughter-in-law. I don't know what it was. It didn't work out.
But then, so what about like your? Who was it that met the girl and she on Thursday and that whole deal?
On what?
No, was it your brother-in-law or something that met the lady on Thursday or Friday?
Benny Stevens, he drove truck with us with Andrini's, and he became Andrini's mechanic for a while. But anyway, he drove truck with us. Good guy. So he married my first wife's sister, and we were brother-in-laws. And he was telling me the story. He says, you know, before all this, he says, I met a girl at the bar in Brisbane. It's called, there's a fancy old bar, it's old timer downtown Brisbane. And there's a big quarry right next to it. But anyway, he said, I met her on a Thursday night. He says, Saturday we got married. Sunday she shot herself in the belly. With a 22 that he had. So like she was committing suicide or some shit. I don't know. Poor bastard, he was married 5 times. And he says, I really loved my first wife, but she was from Pacifica. You know how
classic.
Yeah, they don't last long, you know.
What other weird?
But pull that chair out and sit on it, man.
I'm all right.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Puppy,
I'd give you mine, but
what other weird things happen with the Stevens and stuff, like family? What wasn't there some more weird family?
Well, he quit and he mustn't touch his husband. They became miners all of a sudden. They met a couple of guys that went up to Hillsburg and opened up a big mine. Not that chair. No, they opened up a big mine in Hillsburg. 4 guys.
Healdsburg,
California.
Okay, yeah.
It was a
The gay capital of the world?
I guess. I don't know.
Thank you, man.
Well, that's where that thing came from. A gay man has a mangina.
That's all great.
No, it's mine-gina. I don't know. Anyway, they opened this mine up.
There you go.
And my brother-in-law Benny, we weren't brother-in-laws then, but he was a the mechanic up there, and he did a lot of that kind of work. And he cooked for him. So two of the guys went up to the mine and they set their charges. They're going to dynamite. And they set all the charges. They had 9 charges they were going to blow. And Benny said he was down there and he says, you always count. You listen to him and you count. And he was cooking breakfast. And as soon as it blew, before the dust settled, they would come down and eat, and then they'd go back and muck it out. But he counted only 8 explosions. And something's wrong. The other one was late. And finally, about 10 minutes later, it blew. So he raced up the hill and went up to the mine, and they're both dead. The 2 guys, my first wife's husband, and the other guy. The other guy was a powder man, and he did a lot of the blasting for the San Francisco Bay. Has got the tunnel underneath, and he had to blast the bay out and all that shit and work all that stuff. And he used to do this. He was pretty good
for like the BART tunnel.
The BART tunnel,
really?
Right. Yeah.
Wow.
He was a head blaster there. Anyway, he head blasted himself, and they both died in the mine. And so I said, "Geez, that's a rough break." I told my ex-wife,
my stepsister.
Told my stepsister, "That's a rough break." Christ, he killed 2 of my brother-in-law. Anyway, but Benny, he lived, he survived, he did good, and he came back and moved up to Georgetown. But thing is, the funeral was in Healdsburg, and Viola's husband, Viola Gaines, Bobby Gaines, and those Gaines' sister, Marvin and I went up there to the funeral just for her because I don't know why I went. I didn't want to see her. My stepsister. So yeah, and she gave me a big hug, and she was all skinny and screwed up. So then I find out she starts feeling bad because her husband died, but his good friend was Benny, my brother-in-law. So she started sleeping with him.
Oh gosh!
So mustn't touch it. It didn't go very long after me.
Must everybody touch it?
Yeah, Jesus, I can't understand all that. I guess she was lonely.
Well, she's been married a couple of times since.
Yeah, 3 or so.
Yeah.
She's had 3, 5, 6 husbands.
3, 5, or 6.
I don't know.
Well, I found it interesting that we were invited to one of the weddings, and her ex-husband was the guy, the officiant, that married her.
What are the ex-husbands? Friends and relatives, we are gathered here today to
marry my ex-wife.
Yeah, honor my ex-wife to some other fucker.
It freaks my mother out. Get away from those people.
Life is odd. The things you have to go through to survive it.
Well, not all of us.
But I think if I told the story in church, they'd be proud of me. They'd like that, because they thought I forgave. You forgive those that fuck with you. You forgive them. Everything's cool.
Tell them how you were a Mormon for.
Peggy Hackey. I was down at my grandmother's in Los Angeles, and 2 doors down, there was this cute little girl with pigtails. Good looking little baby.
How old are you here?
10.
Okay.
Or 11.
Okay.
So Peggy Hackey was cool, and all the kids in the neighborhood played. One girl, her name was Rosalind, she let us look at her take a bath. So that was my first experience with naked women. But anyway, Peggy Hackey and the family says, "Oh, why don't you come to church with us Sunday? We'd love to have you." Okay. So smart Robin, I went to church with him. The fuckers baptized me Mormon. Dunked me in the water and put, all that bullshit. And I thought, oh my God. So then I said, "Hi, Mama, I'm a Mormon." When I came home, she says, "What?"
She Christian?
Yeah, they're Christian Mormons. Yeah, they were nice people, but they just wanted, get another sheep in the fucking pen. That's what they do. So then I come home, and I'm going to marry this chick. Mustn't touch it. And she wanted to get married to this beautiful Catholic church down in Hollister, or wherever that is. It's a mission.
San Juan.
Mission San Juan. She wanted to get married in there. So I said, okay, well, let's go down and talk to the priest. So we go down there, we're talking to him. He says, I can't marry you. You're not Catholic. She was a Methodist. And so, okay, well, we came back to town. I said, I'll change and be a Methodist. So I went to the Methodist church in town, and I got baptized there, and I became a Methodist. I let the poor Mormons down. They were pissed. But anyway, so now I'm a Methodist, right? And I'm only going to Catholic churches.
Yeah, and then when you married Grammy, you became a Catholic.
No, I didn't become a Catholic. She wouldn't let me. I still don't know what hand to use when you cross yourself. I can't get that straight. Yeah. The Padre, the Fatre, the Fili, e il Spirito Santo.
Me and Gavin got our first communion together.
Yeah, you did? Oh, cool. Do you remember all that shit?
Somewhat.
All right.
Yeah. Oh, we couldn't get married in a Catholic church because he was divorced.
And a Methodist. It was Leonard Rice.
And a Mormon.
Leonard Rice was my best man two times. First wife.
What great guy.
He had to write to the Archdiocese in San Francisco to get permission to step into a Methodist church to be my best man in this way.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
That's carrying it too far.
That's who my dad.
Those guys are humping little kids, and then they won't let you marry them in church. I don't get it.
Oh,
come on, it ain't right.
Lenny Rice.
There used to be a father in town, a priest in town. Very nice man, Father Barry. What?
Father Barry.
Father Barry. And he had a different outlook on priesthood.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to talk about that. I don't want to say bad things.
He just loves some of his parishioners too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then some
I need this
foreign
one.
Listen, some foreigner came to Half-Moon Bay as a priest, and he told the people of the parish, he told them that the more money they give, the faster they'd get to heaven.
Got it?
Yeah.
No priest should say that.
Yeah.
You should be able to go there free.
Yeah.
You know? And if you want to light a candle, light a freaking candle. You don't need to put money down there.
Yeah.
But,
Here, you want more screwball, Poppy?
Yeah.
Here, I'm probably not going to drink all.
You hate it? Do you hate it?
Dude, you added 805 to my screwball.
He had like that much.
Dude, try it.
This isn't bad.
Probably a good drink.
This isn't right? I mean, bad.
I think that tastes really good.
No.
Screwball 805. Try that.
The screwball is good. Gavin poured 805 into it.
I just think you're really picky, David.
No, that's
Not as bad as I thought it was going to be, but
Yeah.
you smell screwball and then you taste 805. That's kind of
Yeah, it's kind of nice.
Different, yeah.
Kind of nice.
it's not that good. Who was your what was the craziest thing that happened when you owned the gun store?
Okay. Bob Edwards came over with a pick car, and we opened the trunk, and he was here. You guys use this for your grand opening. And it was a giant box full of alcohol, whiskeys and vodka and all this shit and everything. Oh, thank you. We took it in, put it on our bench. And then the people started coming. Oh, there was people rode up in horses. And it was like going back to Wyoming about 1800. But anyway, we got plastered drunk. And I remember I got on this girl's horse. Well, we had T-shirts for everybody. Coast Gun Repair. Everybody had a T-shirt. It was cool. And lucky the
There's
girls.
not one
The girls
gun
would
repair
girls
shirt
would-
that exists.
Yeah, I got one.
Do you?
Yeah, I'm going to give it to the club, to the safe.
I've never seen it.
Took her shirt off, brassiere on, I was happy as a bastard. So anyway, I got on. I said, "Let me borrow your horse a minute." Oh, okay. So I got on the horse and I rode to the Half of Me Inn, went inside, tied it to the pool table. I swear to God, tied it to the pool table and went and took a leak. And I bought a shot of whiskey. And I got on the horse and walked out and went back to the gun shop. Tied it to somebody's pickup. And it was the coolest thing. The horse never cared. It was inside the bar looking around.
Awesome. Doesn't the Bonito still have something where you can tie your horses up out front?
Could be. His rack could be. I don't know.
I mean, they got a fence out front.
It'd be really fun.
You want to hear some stories about Terrible Tees?
Yeah.
Which is Cameron's?
Yeah.
Cameron's building?
Yeah.
Tony Terry was an old plasterer. That was his job. And he built that building and had the rooms upstairs where he could live. And he had a bar in there and no restaurant, but he had a bar. And it was a horseshoe-shaped bar like this. And we could go in there when we were 15. It didn't matter. They used to sell really cheap. Like for $1.50, you could get a half a gallon of orange glow, they called it. It was white wine and orange juice. I got so fucking sick of that shit. But we didn't have money. I didn't have a lot of money to buy booze, But anyway, I could get it because I was 16, 17. And, oh, God. One night, Joe Garcia used to have a motorcycle. Did you know that? Mm-hmm. Yeah, he had a BSA, and it was a 500cc single. And he brings it in the bar. Okay, he's drunk. He brings it in the bar. Him and a couple of guys get it up on the bar, and he rides it around. And then he spins it like this and gets it, and it goes this way around that way, and he spin it and come back. And he was riding on the bar, and everybody was cheering and laughing. So him and Judy split up. They got into a fight, and they could break up. So he's in there drinking, and here she comes in there, and there's with another girl, and they're walking around. And there's a couple of Mexican guys. I'm sorry, our Latino brothers. They were there. They were there, and they saw Judy. She was a good-looking girl. She was like maybe 2 years older than me. Maybe she was at 56. I think she got. Anyway, she's there, and they're talking to her, and they're kind of around her. Joe snaps his mind. He runs over there, and he knocks both of them out. They were both asleep, tongues out, eyes back. He hit them bastards. He just slaughtered them. And away they went, arm in arm. They're all happy now. That was cool. There were some good fighters in this town. There was a guy in town, Jack Marmonis' father. You know Jack Marmonis?
I don't.
You don't remember Bill. Jack Marmonis is Jackie's father, and you probably don't even know the boy. But anyway, they had the oil distributorship at the end of Kelly Avenue by the beach. The father was so strong, one of the strongest men in town. Him and Bill Dini had a contest one time, who could be the strongest and pick the heaviest man. And I think Bill Marmonis won. But I do know that he can stick his thumb up his ass and hold himself straight out. Not a lot of people could do that.
Who could do that? Bill Dini or?
Yeah, he could stick his thumb up his ass and he'd hold himself straight out like this. A lot of people can't do that, I'm telling you.
I'm pretty sure Rich could still do that.
But Bill Dini could walk up to they had a dock, we call the dock. They back the truck up and load the truck. He could walk up to it. He could get 2 55-gallon drums of oil. So oil is probably 8, 9, 10 pounds a gallon. So you figure 55 gallons of those. Put his arms around them and squeeze them, and he could back up and turn around and walk around in a little circle. But he'd walk back and he'd put him back up there.
Jeez.
Nobody else could do that.
Wow.
Jack could do 1, but not 2.
That's like 400 plus pounds.
Yeah. He's a fucking giant man.
Wow.
Tough. He had hands on him like, I don't know, way bigger than this.
which I've been meaning to ask. What's the ring you got going on?
This ring here?
No, the other one, the shining green one.
Oh, that's my son Matthew's class ring.
Oh, okay.
From high school here.
Yeah.
Yeah, he died 2005.
Okay.
Oh, he died in 2020.
Yeah, 2020.
Class of 2005.
He was class of 88.
88. He'll be 20. He'll be. I'm fucked up now.
He passed away when he was 50.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he'll be 56 June 20th this year.
Yeah. Okay.
Alcohol and drugs, boys.
Yeah. What do you think?
Alcohol and drugs.
Yep.
That's why I hate them. I'm sorry, but some people can do what they want, and I don't care. It's not my business. But I hate drugs because of the way that he died.
Yeah.
Steve Nelson. Yeah, I could go through a handful of guys that were friends of his in that age group from that era that are all fucking dying of drugs.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. They got to be able to tell when your buddy dies, there's something wrong here. What am I doing wrong? You know what I mean?
So, so Matt
obviously
lived here. Steve Nelson, all the way in the back of the canyon. Victor Paganelli lived in this canyon. Mike Ekus spent a lot of time in this canyon.
Yeah.
They're all kind of the same age guys, and they're all
gone.
None of them made it to 60
because of drugs.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Because of fucking drugs. So that's why I got a bad taste in my mouth for drugs. You know.
Yep.
Yeah. And I feel sorry for people that are hooked on me. I know you can't stop.
Yeah,
I saw it.
Yeah.
I saw it. I fought with my son 35 years to quit using fucking drugs and alcohol. Didn't work.
Yep. That's why you left that stuff in Vietnam.
Yeah, I stopped it. I wouldn't do it no more. I never did it no more.
Oh, the cigarettes?
Well, I got cigarette. I had one. Fuck that. I threw that. I never had another bad dream. And if there could have been women in it running around naked, I would have still been doing that shit.
You had a big black guy playing a bus. That was it.
My favorite thing couldn't even have been a black girl. No, it was a big black football player like dancing, prancing on this thing. Nice music and shit.
Nice music. It's funny.
It was nuts.
Yeah.
So I came home. I came home to town, and the guys that work for Pacific pulled doubles for Pacific Radio. Frank Musi, Bruno Musi, Dennis Souza. There was a bunch of them that lived on the coastside here. And Eddie Bandini. Eddie Bandini lived in Half Moon Bay. So he had a party in his house. I got all drunk up somewhere, and I went over to his house to stop by and say hello to everybody. And they said, "Hey, RB, you want to hit on our cigar?" And I says, "What?" I said, "Those fuckers had a Louisville Slugger." It was packed. It was really good dope, Oh, yeah, I was drunk. I go, pretty soon I'm in the rose bush puking. It was stuck to my shirts and sticking all over me. So fucked up. So I couldn't drive home. And here I hear a motorcycle. I went looking around. Norman Whelan had a Harley. All the Whelans, the Whelans.
Yeah,
That's one of the brothers that died from sleep apnea, that bastard, poor bastard.
Yes.
Anyway, he had this big Harley. He said, "I'll give you a ride home to down, whatchamacallit, Birdie Road." So I got to the back, and I know that son of a gun was going 90 miles an hour down the highway with it. Hanging on to that fucking leather jacket. Finally got me home, and I was okay. Oh, one time I got drunk in town at the inn. And Ray Villa, Ray Villa? Do you know who he is?
I know the name.
Yeah, young David Villa. It's his uncle. Anyway,
I think so.
Ray Villa says, "I'll give you a ride home, RB, no problem." So, okay, so he drives me home. That day I had to go to the doctor and have a bone check. I had to look for a hemorrhoid or some fucking thing. He had a thing this big around, I swear to God. It was pointed, and it had a light in it. and you get on your hands and knees like you're going to play leapfrog, and he sticks that thing up your ass and looks. But before that, I had all this white chalk shit that put in me. And I said, okay, it's all over with. That's cool. He said, yeah, blah, blah, blah. I'm coming home with Ray. I get in the house. I get in the driveway. I'm walking up the driveway to the house like this. And I'm drunk. I'm going up here. And I said, I just remember in my mind, I got to fart. It went, it sounded like a mountain lion. It sounded like a mountain lion. I shit myself. that white plap down my legs and in my boots and everything. So I, holy shit, what am I going to do? I was hanging on to shit, you know. It took a lot out of me. So I went in the house and I told Lodi, honey, I'm sorry, but I missed my pants. She says, good, there's no water. Fucking water was gone. The tank's empty. I'm looking around like, what do you mean there's no water? She said, there's no water. I'm not going to the pump that time of night. I'm drunk. So I took my clothes off. It was sad. My boots, inside the boots had shit. But not shit. It wasn't shit, though. It was this white chalk stuff.
Like a hair.
I swore at that doctor. But anyway, what I could think to do. There's no water in the toilet. There's nothing. I grabbed a towel and I walked. I had the cowboy boots on still, and I was like, clump, 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 clump. I went down to my fuel rack where my tank was for my truck. The dog water, poor dog. The dog water was a big bucket. I sat in there. I did a horse bath between my legs and my ass. I was sick.
Poor dog.
You think she gave me any? You think she tried to help?
Oh shit! Oh my god!
There was something wrong with it. There was. I had too many. That's why I don't drink no more. I did too much stupid shit when I was a kid. I remember you don't know the name McMaster, but he was a guy in our school, in our class. Earl McMaster was a grammar school principal. But anyway, Earl, this guy, Carl, was in my class. So him and I, one time, we went out to the place in Moss Beach Distillery. We went to the Moss Beach Distillery to have a drink. Not a big deal. I had a 1950 Oldsmobile. So we go in there, and we're talking and raising hell. And pretty soon I said, I want a zombie. So he said, yeah, I'll have one. So we had zombies. It was stupid. Why don't I get a glass of straight whiskey or something? The zombies are...
What's a zombie?
It's 5 or 6 kinds of rum and different shit that they serve in the islands. Monkey fucking juice. But anyway, we drink zombies until we can't fucking walk. And we're going home, and I'm in my Oldsmobile, my prized fucking car. It's one of my favorite cars in my life. Uh-oh.
Yep.
And coming down the Highway 1, I went off the road, and I went peek. And it was this, I see this flash, and all of a sudden the windshield splatters in my Oldsmobile. And I went nuts. So we went to give him home, and I came home, and I told my brother, Jesus Christ, I hit a mailbox. And it was Walter Silva. You know the name Walt Silva on the Highway 1?
Yeah.
He's got a kid named Eric.
Yeah.
Okay. Knocked his mailbox straight down. Oh my God. The next day I said, I got to go. I went to see him. I said, Walt, I went over your mailbox last night. I'm really sorry. I'm going to buy you a new one, and I'll come and put it in. He says, I understand. I've done that too. He says, you buy the mailbox, I'll put it in. I said, oh, okay. So I got a mailbox and took it over to his house. But my car had a fucked up fender and a windshield. I had Granelli's fix it. A lot of crazy things happened. My 57 Ford, I had a 57 Ford. I loved that freaking car. You want some pizza?
I had some earlier, yeah.
Me too.
Yep.
But anyway, the 57 Ford was cool.
Yep.
I painted it big black because mustn't touch it like the black Ford. So that fucker. I painted it black, had it painted black, and she was happy. About 2 weeks later, I had a heat on coming home from the inn, and I smashed a tree and fucking buckled one. Well, whatever. She was pissed.
What do you got out in the garage there?
40 Chevy.
40?
Yeah. 1940 Chevy is a two-door sedan. I want to sell it. I can't even get down.
Don't sell it.
I can't even get down to fucking clean the rims now. I swear to God, I can't do nothing to it.
That don't matter. You shouldn't sell it.
Before the mice get into it,
Keep it in the family.
I had a beautiful 65 Triumph. I should get a picture for you, but I'm not going to go in there. But I should try to show you the picture if you like Triumphs.
Get a garage cat. That'll keep the mice out of it.
I got machines in there, and they're me all the time, and it doesn't do shit. The fucking mice come back. Anyway, I can't even take care of the thing. The battery's dead on it. Don Nichols comes up and charges it up every now and then. We start it, and I drive it around. But
yeah,
Lodi and I loved that car. We went to car shows with it. We loved it. It was so much fun with everybody, all the other cars and everything, you know.
Yeah.
It's just so cool. But now I can't fucking do it. I can't. I got an electric wheelchair, but you can't put it in a car. So how am I going to get to a wheelchair with it? You know what I mean? It's just fucked up.
Yeah.
No, it's a beautiful car.
Yeah.
You guys seen it?
Yeah, we went out there earlier.
Yeah.
Checked it out.
You pull the thing off?
The cover?
Yeah.
No, there was no cover on it.
Oh, no cover. Okay,
No,
good.
it's
a cool car.
It's a gorgeous car.
Yeah, it's a cool car. It's a cruiser. It's not a hot rod. It's got a 327 and automatic in it.
Yeah.
Air conditioning, got everything.
Yeah.
But it's not a racer. But it's a cruiser.
Yep.
And you go to a car show and everybody, but it's a nice little car.
No, but it's a point of pride for sure.
I'll sell it to you, buddy.
He'll buy it. Be careful.
Cheap. Not a lot of money.
Oh yeah, not a lot.
No.
We'll talk after this, but
listen,
Robin,
you know how much they are to fix them up like that?
Yeah.
And I'll discount the rodent damage.
No, Robin, thank you for taking a chance and just coming on here and talking with us.
Oh yeah.
Aaron, you got to get over here too, dude. You got to sign out as well.
I loved it.
Aaron did a great job. Your grandson here.
He did.
Yeah, come on, mid piece of pizza.
Yeah.
Finish it out.
He does great wherever he is.
No, it's always fun coming to see you guys too.
Oh,
You
guys
so welcoming and
barbecue and stay through 3 days with us.
It was pretty funny. We were driving up the road to come do this episode, and we hit the road, and we were like, I had to call Aaron. I was like, "There's no way that they come up this road." And Aaron's like, "Yeah, that's the road."
Gavin's truck started spinning out, and I was like, "I think you have to put it in 4 to just get up here without fucking up the road."
Yeah.
You know,
that's the best way. But you know what? It's really not that bad if you go slow and go over the road.
Yeah.
If you got automatic, you just go up, go over the road, keep going a little bit. If you stop, they just step on it and it'll kick out.
Yeah.
But this guy saved my life because that whole road would have been down in the barn if he didn't do what he did. We had a lot of heavy rain, man.
Yep.
And it's well, we'll get her taken out. I have had it for 20 years.
Yep.
So
maybe Andrini Brothers will sponsor us and
come pave it
all.
You know,
get Nico out here pro bono.
When Mario was coming out here and riding his bikes when you were here, I went to Eddie and I went to pick him up or something. I went to, where's Mario at? He said, "What are you guys doing?" I said, "I'm going to go play in the motorcycles." Robin, if anything you need, call me Bob. Bob, you say anything you need. You want a tractor? You want a D4? I'll have a D4 taken down there, and they can fix the track for you. I just thank you, Eddie. Thank you very much. It's cool. But I worked for him for a long time. Eddie and I were friends, good friends.
Yep.
He was a good boss. In the early years, he was a lot of fun. So much fun. And I really admired him for what he did.
Was it his brother that had the plane that you went and
we bombed him?
Yeah, when you went and bombed him.
His brother was doing a job in Tenias Canyon, putting a culvert in, and they had men working and signs and all that shit. And he says, come on, we're going to go for a ride. I got this first little airplane, and we took a ride, and we're flying over it like this. And he had a 5-pound sack of flour. And we're flying over, and he says, "Okay," and I threw it out. And it went down and went, covered all those poor bastards, you know. And Angela's looking around. And
So Eddie was flying and
Eddie was flying. And Angela was working on it. It blew up like can't believe how much 5 pounds of flour will go. It looked like the atomic bomb that poor Jep had. Jesus Christ. We laughed so freaking hard.
Oh my God.
Right on.
Oh my God.
Eddie was a great guy. When he was younger, he was fun. We had fun. Every day we had fun. I put snakes in his truck and different shit. He'd scream and run. One time I put a golf ball in the air horn. I said, Eddie, there's a funny noise out in front. What is that? And I went, whoa! And it went, the golf ball came out and hit him. You never knew what we were going to do. But then he got to be in charge of everything and his own business, and he was the boss, and he wasn't fun anymore.
Yeah, that's how
he was still very, very nice to me.
Yeah.
I worked for him a couple times when I had the 10-wheeler, and then he would ask Colin, how did he do? Did he do all right? And, fucking Eddie, you trained him. Yeah, he did all right. Shit, we had. I'm telling you the truth, and I'll say it again. I lived in the best of fucking times.
Yeah.
I really did.
Sounds like it.
Honestly, I did. It was one night, George Bedcourt, Ronnie Cunha, and I, we got a gallon of Burgundy wine. So we go out, and the cops pull up in front of the store. Hey, what's up? The cop driving the car ended up being the San Mateo County Sheriff, right? Mm-hmm. Ganley was his, no, I have to get the name. Anyway, he was the sheriff. I know that.
Ted
and he said, what are you guys doing? He said, we're going to go down to Pescadero and shoot rats. Okay, can we go? Yeah. So we got 3 in the car. They had a 59 Ford station wagon. So we got all in there and they had the wine. We're drinking, passing it back and forth. The cops were drinking wine. Whoa, what's that? Right. Be still. Everybody's drinking wine, you know, and the cops. We get to Pescadero, they set the dumps on fire, and they start shooting rats with them. They look like seals, like Navy SEALs, because their eyes get big and shit. They're killing stuff. You know? So,
yeah.
It was funny as hell. We're all tripped up. And the cops looked at me and they says, you guys are going to come with us sometimes. You're going to drink. Everybody's going to drink, but you're going to act like men. You act like a fucking punk, I'm going to put you right in jail. We never act like punks. We didn't drive crazy. We didn't do nothing.
Yeah.
We were their buddies. You know?
Yeah.
It's a cool thing to say.
That's awesome.
But, where could you do that? What other fucking state could you do that in?
Yep.
Maybe fucking Arkansas or something. I don't know. It was hilarious. We just loved it.
Well, I mean, that's amazing. And hearing all of your stories, I mean, it's just been.
Well, I hope so. I wish that you guys could
awesome.
have enjoyed shit like that.
Yeah.
Could have enjoyed shit like that. I really do. Because it was just the best.
Yeah.
It really was.
And you know, we'll never revert back to what it was, but we can always reminisce on what it was.
Exactly, you're right.
And we can try to preserve it as best as we can.
Well, here's the way I look at it. I thought I lived in the best of times. You guys probably thought you lived in the best of times.
Yeah.
Because you didn't know anything before, and whatever happened after was different. In every generation, Frost is going to think sometimes, Dad, I lived in the best of times.
Yep.
You know? But him and Sean doing what they're doing what they want, what they love, is the best of times for them.
Yep.
It really is. All the work and all the cow, whatever, breeding, all the sheep breeding is. I love sheep. You know, they don't care if you screw their sister. They don't care if you're late and to come home late. They don't care. They don't know nothing.
You know, my family's got over 80 head of sheep right now. Yeah.
Does your dad smiling all the time? I don't mean anything bad by that. Sheep are good. Sheep are good.
Yep.
Now, imagine the poor son bitch in Iraq that has camels. How could you have sex with a camel? So imagine it. They spit at you, them fuckers.
That's also a bit of a reach, no?
I've been talking down here.
Maybe not for Anna.
Camels are fun. I usually go to a farm and I look for the best looking sheep. That's the one I want.
Oh, fuck.
All right.
Get the
Finish it.
best.
Yeah, we're gonna close it out with that.
Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Once again, we're brought to you by Bikeworks HMB, your one-stop shop for bike service, sales, and rentals in Half Moon Bay, California. Whether you're on the mountain, road, or low on battery, Bikeworks HMB has your back. If you enjoyed this episode and would like to help support this podcast, please feel free to reach out to us at betweenshiftspod@gmail.com. The link will be in the description. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. GT, signing off.